And it's over.
Hey, it's Saturday night. It is 7:30. It's, a little later than we normally start, but that's okay because this is my show and I don't care. I am Matty G coming at you live from Isolation Station 1123. How the hell is everybody doing tonight? Let's introduce who's here and who's not. We're going to go first, Mr. Aaron.
What's up? Happy to be here once again. You have an interesting show, things to talk about, things to not talk about, and we'll do whatever the fuck we want for the next 10 hours.
Fuck, I hope not. All right, and introducing everybody's favorite dinosaur. Oh, roar, Mr. Alan Shepard.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to be here, repping the Purple Rain, because, I go from blue to purple because that's how life works. I'm just happy to be here with you fine gentlemen.
And back to blue.
Right. Get back to blue.
All right, and our sound tech who's working aimlessly behind the scenes trying to get stuff together, and his other Mandalorian, Nikki and Devin. What's up, guys?
I broke my soundboard.
You broke the soundboard.
Devin, that means you'll have to be the one talking.
He says no.
Broke my soundboard.
But I'm sure he'll get it figured out because, of course, that's how Mr.
It's a hardware.
I'm sure he'll figure it out.
No.
No, we'll come together as a group.
No.
And of course, the man behind the seats tonight's a little tired. It's Mr. Matt Beer. He is going to be keeping an eye on the Streamlabs. The link is in the description if you decide you want to, donate a little money to the show, whatever. It ain't going to do a whole lot, but, you'll get to make Matt hear a cool noise and he'll jump in and say what you said. You can follow us on Twitch. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe at the video. Definitely give us a like, subscribe, do all that loveliness, because that helps make our programming better and maybe more eyes will see it. And, it is what it is. Exactly. And then our last fifth member, Mr. Chris Diaz, has decided to...
Diaz!
Do it again!
Hello, everybody. Welcome for another night.
Mr. Diaz. At last we meet for the second time. This boy, this man, this popping up in every damn league all around the nation, whooped my behind hard in the little, Sunday match.
Wow.
That's all. I ain't mad, though. I ain't mad.
Giggity.
You guys are going to get fun, Alan, tonight. His kids are out of the house.
That's right. About to get crazy.
Alan, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Did he just caress that ass, or did he just slap it?
Oh no. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what this did. He took both hands on it. He caressed it. He lured me in and said, "Oh no, I'll be nice to you, sweet ass. I'll be nice to you." And then he spanked it. Spanked it. Woo! That's what's up with Diaz. That's how Diaz roll.
And like I said, if you clicked on the video, After Dark, it's a gas, because we don't have anybody joining us tonight. This is between us. And if you want to comment anything, if you don't want to donate to Streamlab, put it in the chat. There's a bunch of us looking at it. Aaron, so we're going to start a new topic.
That motherfucker only button he got working.
All right. What did you want to start with your thing you found, or you want to start with the big thing I have?
Go with yours.
Oh, please, Aaron. The big thing you have.
I realized
shit.
Wow.
Whoa, Chris getting an ass, and you getting the big thing out. This is gonna be something.
Jesus Christ. All right. So
Yeah, we're calling this Aaron's news.
I guess segment.
That's nice.
Fuck yeah. All right. So since this will actually be happening this time next week while we're on the show. We have to change colors too. I decided that one of the interesting things to talk about would be the upcoming DC fandom or DC fandom, if you want to play into the pun in the titling. This is essentially DC's Comic-Con. They have a million panels about everything. I believe their website is advertising over 100 hours in content, over 124-hour, just a consistent series of live streams happening. So what I've done is their main one, which is their equivalency of Hall H, is the Hall of Heroes. So I've gone in and pulled a couple of panels from there for us to kind of just discuss and talk about. So the big thing that's left out of this, unfortunately, is TV shows. Now, I will say that every single TV show DC has airing or set to air will have a panel. I don't know exactly who will be there, but I imagine at least one or two of the major co-stars will be at each. If you guys go to, I believe it's schedule.dcfandom.com, you guys can go in there yourself and find the specific panels you want to find, but we'll be talking about the biggest ones that'll be under the Hall of Heroes section in relation to movies and a couple of possible major video game announcements. The first one that we'll go with is the panel they're opening with at 1 p.m. EST, which would be, 10 a.m. for you guys on the West Coast?
Yep.
All right, so 10 a.m. for you guys is going to be the Wonder Woman 1984 panel. Now, this is going to be a panel that will last 25 minutes, and it'll be a panel of director and writer Patty Jenkins, as well as stars Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Kristen Wiig, and Pedro Pascal. What happened?
Nothing.
Oh, the comments.
Mr. Bruce, talk about our ass whooping we got handed to us. But yes, he got his ass whooped a little bit more.
A little bit more.
But that ass still got whooped. Let's just leave it at that, though.
That's
true.
You got 1 point
Like
for it,
this.
so you got the extra caressing.
Good God.
Wait, okay, hold on.
Sorry. Yes.
I do have a second question for Spaceman. Did he use lube with that ass whooping?
Bruh, the Diaz never use lube, all right? Because usually the Diaz get it moist just by smooth talking, you know what I mean? But he got to the smooth talking, and right before he was about to get lubed up, wow! Ooh, it was painful.
I hear you with that titty dick in your mouth.
All right, so back to my big thing.
Yeah, so back to Wonder Woman.
That says we can't ever do the show again.
It's all Bruce's fault. I do blame you.
So according to the DC website, the 5 people will be Patty Jenkins and the film's lead stars Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Kristen Wiig, and Pedro Pascal. And it'll essentially be a 25-minute Q&A panel, so I guess whatever the live viewers ask them, they will answer. And according to the DC website, it will include a sneak peek of the upcoming film. As of now, Wonder Woman 1984 is still set for an October 2nd release date, although there is speculation that may move. We will most likely find out next week at that first panel. Guys, what you think?
I think this motherfucker's like Avatar 2. It ain't never coming out. I think we're never going to see this motherfucker. We might see it in January when we can go back into the theaters. Possibly.
Wait. Okay. Question.
No.
What will we see first? Will we see? And I'm gonna mute somebody for a minute because I know he's gonna chime in right away. Will we see New Mutants or Wonder Woman 84 first?
You mean 84?
Or 84?
Well, as of their Comic-Con panel like 2 weeks ago, they're sticking to that 28th date for the New Mutants. They are
because they'll even put out on the on-demand or premium release at home if it's not in the theaters. So New Mutants is They are pushing that thing out finally.
Wait,
Yeah, well, no, New Mutants is going to theaters. The trailer they released at Comic-Con
No,
says
but
in big
even-
building in theaters.
It's saying it's going to theaters where theaters are open, where theaters
Oh,
are
yeah.
Yeah,
open.
and theaters ain't open.
Put it on digital.
Come to the
They'll
state
do
of
that.
Florida where nothing's fucking closed.
That's
Come to
true.
Connecticut.
Florida, fucking everything's open.
All malls
That's
a
are
good point.
reopening next week.
well, it's like
What
10
is?
out at the end.
My
At the beginning.
mall movie theater is reopening next week, and we're getting the Watch Quote on Hinge movie next week.
Is it an
Oh,
AMC?
For you.
Not in my state. Fuck that. Every movie theater and shit like that's closed here. And they
They
said that
closed the beaches out here, so you know ain't shit open.
Open.
wait, Beer just chimed in. Everybody, wait. Beer.
Why does he keep hiding? He teasing with it. Oh, look at this
Right.
motherfucker drinking a shake.
Wait.
This motherfucker went to Wendy's.
Red beer.
Beer,
Get
I'm
him out of
hungry.
here. Get
Don't
him
do
out
that.
of here.
There's been a
Get him
I'm
out of
Now
here.
I
Beer,
hate
I'm
to-
really hungry.
I hate
Bring
to
me
be a
Wendy's.
dickhead, but is that the case for my town? And because of tenant thing, where they only release it in small theater that actually have theater open, I get to see tenant before a lot of you guys. So,
I
Oh,
can
good for
actually-
you.
I can officially go see a movie tonight, but it's Arizona and it's still hotter than a motherfucker outside. And I don't want to sit in my car for 3 hours or for 5
Oh
hours.
yeah, they
Oh,
got
your
drive-ins
drive-ins
open over
open?
here too. Yeah, but they're showing Spies in Disguise at the drive-in in my town.
You can watch that at home.
Exactly.
it's going to be on HBO Max
not
next
bad.
month.
what's
I
HBO
don't
Max?
want to watch this shit.
Uh,
So I think we'll see New Mutants. I agree with Nikki, even though they said they're gonna put it in the theater. I think it's gonna be on some kind of streaming service soon, and then we'll see. They're waiting for wide release for Wonder Woman because they kind of have to. Because as what I've seen visually, it looks like that's the way you're gonna see it.
think
I
it
thought
all
you were going to
depends-
ask Wonder Woman or Snyder Cut, because I think we're going to see Snyder Cut first.
Ooh.
Okay, I think it all depends on how well Tenet does in its limited capacity. Because if Tenet does well, but
It won't.
the limited amount of theater opening.
I don't think.
What is well?
I
What
don't know
are we
if that's
defining
comparable
as well?
because Tenet
10 million?
Tenet
20
isn't a
million?
big box office film. It's Nolan
And-
has pull, but not for wide audiences. Wonder
think
Woman
it'll
is made for
There's
that
not
wide
a lot of
audience.
movies coming out
Entire run.
in September besides Kingman. They'll probably do well in September. Like,
I
I
don't
mean,
think,
Kingman, I don't think will do well because a lot of people did not like the Golden Circuit that much.
but I think they pushed it again, didn't they?
No,
Yeah.
Kingman
What?
coming out in September 28th.
I doubt that. Yeah.
Hold on.
No,
What movie
I
are we
don't
talking
think
about
that
now?
Kingsman.
Because they already pushed it once. They'll push it again.
Well, okay. So Kingsman was different.
Yeah.
Kingsman's original release date was in February, and it
Exactly.
got pushed for film completion reasons. It
Yeah.
still has. It's September 18th. That is still holding its release date.
They want
Because of
people,
1917.
but they want people to see it, is what I'm saying. So that's why they'll push it again. It's not like with New Mutants where they're trying to bury it. Kingsman, they
I think
put the
Kingman
effort
might
in.
get
Bury the
buried.
lead.
They're not gonna. They'll hold off. They were willing to hold off this long. They'll hold off a little bit longer.
But this is Disney that producing Kingman, so they might try to bury Kingman because
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah.
Well, because it's
Oh, I got
Fox, so
that.
Disney
Yeah.
technically owns it now.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, but it's very fine.
That's why they've been putting all the X-Men movies on Disney Plus.
They won't do that.
yeah, but I think Kingsman's going to be a draw personally. I think because the
I can't wait
first
for it.
first two were actually popular. Yeah, like I can't. I'm liking it, dude.
That's why I think they should wait till next summer. Like release it next summer. Just sit on it.
But there's so many movies now coming out next summer.
Well,
then you
yeah,
have to push it.
that's the
Yeah, but who
problem.
cares?
Is something's gonna have to release because the problem is so many studios like Warner Brothers. Like Warner Brothers took almost everything they had and just immediately jumped to 2021. Sony did the same. So there's so many movies that are
Fast and
already
Furious
in 2021 that it's going to be very difficult to try and find
That's
space
why
to release
an
them.
oversaturated market is better than no market.
We
Well, we
also
have-
had. We also
Because
have to look
if
at.
a lot of movies are coming out and people have the AMC stubs, guess what I'm doing next summer? If say Fast and Furious comes out the same weekend as Kingsman, guess what I'm doing that weekend? I'm going to see Fast and Furious. I'm turning right around and seeing Fast and Furious and Kingsman.
But the problem
I'm
is
doing
with general movie theater, like the general moviegoer will only usually see between 3 to 5 movies a year.
You'll get more than you get right now. Because right now, half the theaters in the country aren't even open. And where they are open, people aren't going to go.
Either way, you're screwed, but studios can't afford to sit on a film for 2 years. So it's the lesser of two evils.
Why
Is
not,
it?
though?
Because
As somebody
that's
who's
money.
been to the theater in my area that's
Especially
open,
if
it sells out
they're
every single time.
Yeah.
Like,
Also,
even
as someone who is working at a movie theater in an area where movie theaters are open, they are selling out. And I have friends who work at the movie theater that I worked at previously, which is the AMC in Disney, which is statistically consistently one of the top 3 theaters in the country. They are already selling out full days. Like their first day back, they are sold out to capacity pretty much.
that's
Wow. Are they doing separate spaces
Yeah,
between seats or
so
no?
I haven't tested it myself, but from what I have been told, automatically every other row was manually blocked for AMC, and when you purchase it, the system is triggered to free purchase the seats next to you, so they will be blocked too.
Okay.
So they
I
are
still
doing
think
it,
it would
but
be better to sit on it.
I
the
mean-
problem is,
as someone who just went last month to the movie just to test it out,
Right.
I would. Me and my girlfriend were the only one in the theater. It would kind of like
So,
empty.
like, for example, Black Widow, that's going to make its money overseas, and then the
Right.
theaters
Yeah.
that are open here are just going to add on to it.
We're not
And
going
right
to see
now-
those big opening weekend numbers for a while, though. Like opening weekend,
no, but that
we're
has to
looking at
be
like 10
expected.
million, 20 million for whatever big
I
releases.
think Black Widow doing be pushed back because
But,
I think
like,
they
yeah, oh,
need
yeah,
market
definitely.
too.
Yeah.
You need
They
to
should've-
just throw it out there. They're fulfilling their contract. That's good to get it out there. Unhinged was never going to make like $1 billion. It might actually do better now because theaters are opening up now.
Yeah,
I
how
would
much
just
it
like
is?
In
AMC.
development, that's like a good digital release right now.
I was going to say, I don't know about if any theaters are open near you guys where movies are coming out, but at least the theater that I work at, there are movies that before would have been like super small indie releases. There was a horror film called The Wretched that was actually pretty decent that came out. Another one, of all people, Dave Franco made his directorial debut on a horror film called The Rental, which is doing really good numbers when in a general time it probably wouldn't be doing so. So there definitely is a market of people who want to go see films. I think movies that are smaller budgeted, I think they're going to try and push for it and try and get the release in. Like, I know Kingsman is a blockbuster, but I don't think Kingsman is a $200 million blockbuster. I think it would be reasonable for them to keep their release date, push for overseas, and try and make their money back how they can, and then everyone else can figure it out afterwards.
I mean, at night we can allow film like
we could make a game out of it.
The
Right.
personal
Like, see
history
what's
of David Copperfield to come out
Yeah.
this month in
Right, and a lot of indie films will try and release and see if they can get money off of it too.
Indie films, I think it's good to release those. But like Kingsman, I think like that's like the line where it's like that like the line is right there. Like New Mutants is on one side of the line, Black Widow's on another side of the line, and Kingsman's like right there on the line.
Then one woman in white in the middle.
I think they push it.
I don't think we see Wonder Woman until next year.
Wonder Woman.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's see how
But we're
does.
getting Black Adam, we're getting the Batman, we're getting Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
but
thing.
we're not going to get those
That way,
unless-
None of those have been filming, though. None of those have been filming, so we have to keep that in
and I
mind.
will. So
What did the Batman
when we
start-
when we
started
when
to
we get
Batman
further,
was filming. It
Batman
like
had
very, very early.
started filming in a week and a half.
I was
Then
gonna
Suicide
say-
Squad already finished filming and
I was gonna
No.
say,
They did.
when we start moving through the different panels, one or two of them have extra stories I'll bring up when we reach them. Batman's filming is one of them. So I'll talk about that when we get to the Batman panel as well.
To go to
But-
Batman,
But
like,
the question is more so, because that's the thing is like all of these movies have far off release dates. The question really is like how quickly can they get back and finish them, right? And we're gonna see that go on, and so that's why I think
Like-
studios will want to take movies that are finished and release
And
them
DC
now.
learned not to rush.
Like the big elephant in the room right now, with no trailer came out yet, it's supposed to come out December, is Dune. And that's been like the rumor going around it might get pushed back. Because even I was just saying to my parents the other day, West Side Story had no trailer yet. It's supposed to come out December, like Disney Day probably push it back. Well, Disney Day come out December at this point.
Well, I
If
think
it comes out this year, it will bomb.
West Side Story could still come out because I don't think West Side Story is a movie that you need to do months and months of marketing and pre-advance for. Like I think, outside of the fact that this is directed by Steven Spielberg, West Side Story, which will only get so much crossover, West Side Story is a very succinct, closed market in musicals. You know
And
that.
I don't think it's going to do well anyway. I think it might do better now because of it.
I mean, it's coming out in December. It's coming out Christmas time, so I always thought it was going to do well. It all
depends on
alone, because always during Christmas weekend the theater is freaking
jammed. Yeah,
you're right.
And I think a Spielberg movie, especially with people in their 50s, 40s, 60s, whatnot, they're going to go see it. And then Spielberg fans.
And there's a vacuum there. Like there's a vacuum there. The blockbusters, the big blockbusters, are going to hurt from it, but indie movies are the ones that are going to benefit from it. Because
so just to give an idea, like this is why I think the King's Man will release. So there is no confirmed production budget for specifically The Kingsman, but the previous two films have been budgeted at $81 million and $104 million respectively, and Golden Circle did worse than the first Kingsman. So I don't think it's going to get a much higher budget than maybe 110. Like I don't see them going that much higher than that. So for a movie like that, that's around 100 million, I think you have a decent shot at if you can secure international release and then just get it in as many theaters in the US as possible. I think you very much still have a chance at making money because Fox is going to have too many blockbusters to try and push it. Like unfortunately, Kingsman Golden Circle killed a lot of the vibe, like the hype this franchise had. I see a very hard time with this competing in bigger markets. Like with
and but you don't have like the big name like Converse, Terrence, Matthew Vaughn behind. You only have about 5 and a few others.
That's what's exciting about it. It looks refreshing, and they really haven't like kicked off. Like they had a big marketing campaign before they pushed it back to September, but I really haven't seen much marketing for it since then. So that's why I think they will push it back. Their marketing, like their quote unquote Corona marketing, hasn't started yet. So I really do think.
Yeah, but to me at least, the counter argument against that would be something like Tenet has continued releasing trailers and marketing for it, and people are starting to get sick of seeing it. Like I have seen a move online where people are starting to get sick of seeing it. It's got another release date. Oh, another trailer. Yeah. Like how much can you possibly market?
That's how not to. Tenet is
they're doing it terribly. They're handling it horribly.
Yeah, they're definitely doing it wrong.
But the hard thing about Tenet is like nobody knows what it's about.
Trailers for it. This would be about the time when you would see it really kick off. You get that third trailer, and then you get all the TV stuff. So I mean, it's a little over a month until it comes out. I
am still jealous that people in 2 weeks get to see it before we
be fine.
Yeah. You know, I don't give a shit who gets to see it. I mean. Still gonna see Tenet if I gotta see it on DVD or on VOD. I don't care. I'm gonna still see it however I can. I don't really give a shit how that comes out. Kingsman, I would prefer to see it. It kind of goes back to something Nikki brought up in a debate, in a video game debate, where he was discussing. The question was basically along the lines of where would you like to see the next Assassin's Creed game, and he basically described the Kingsman, and that's kind of why I want to see it, because like the Kingsman itself is such a big world. I want to see it condensed and kind of brought down. That's what makes it more exciting to me. Tenet,
and I think the brand
is like to me. I'm sorry, but a sequel to Inception. I don't care. I'm still going to see it because you know what? I don't care about your opinions. You can put them in the same place you put it in Dr. Spaceman.
I love Inception, but I think I had that crazy theory you. I think a sequel to Inception. I think like that is a crazy theory, but
damn it!
Because they released Inception on the 10th anniversary. That's this month. So it's like, is there a secret thing about Tenet that we're not knowing about?
God damn it!
It was a different time. It was definitely a different time.
I don't think we're gonna find out if it's a sequel or not until the movie comes out. I don't think they're gonna have like a little sneak peek with Inception where it's like, oh, see, Tenet, the sequel to Inception.
I think it's more in the same universe.
Originally, I know there would have been some. I mean, I don't know if they'll keep it at this point, but I know part of when they announced, because they pushed back its release, but the 10th anniversary Inception release, part of it was supposed to be, it was going to include a bunch of sneak peeks and previews to just anything coming up with Warner Brothers, including Tenet.
Right. It kind of
so
like.
I don't think it would
what
confirm
Nolan
that
always
it's a
says.
sequel, but I don't know. Also, part of it to me is like when I'm excited for something, I hate seeing a lot of it. So like I'm someone where, with the exception of like I don't know how many of you guys have this, but when I saw Rise of Skywalker, there was like that 7-minute prologue that was in front of it.
Oh yeah.
I saw that, and I pretty much have avoided all of the trailers since that I could, because I want to go into it as blind as possible. But it gets really difficult when they keep releasing more marketing, and it's just like, guys, you have
What
your
are you
audience.
watching that you're seeing this?
What happened?
What are you watching that this comes on? Because like I haven't seen.
Well, for one, I work at a movie theater. That doesn't help.
Okay.
But two, like it'll be on Instagram if I'm scrolling, or the odd time it'll show up as a YouTube trailer, and it's
We're
like
probably still
I
months
see it
away.
on YouTube trailers a lot.
yeah.
So movie
no, no.
theaters just seem like such a foreign concept to me right now. It's like that movie theater, that's never gonna happen.
So film like
guys,
I was going through the list of stuff that's coming out later this year, like coming to America, pushed back to next year. That's not coming out.
That finished filming though.
Honestly,
That's one you could release
though,
this year.
I
Death
could
on a
see
Mile.
I could see
next year.
coming. I could see coming to America. Just going to Netflix, because it's another Eddie Murphy, Craig Brewer movie. Dolomite Is My Name did really good on Netflix last year for them, so
Yes,
I
it
could see
did.
it going there.
Right.
Soul
it's coming out-
maybe might come out, but I think that maybe go on Disney Premium. Like,
Again, I first off, I would hate to see Soul go to premium. I think
Yeah,
the
I would.
later in the year that we get, I think those releases are going to actually make it. Like, I think it's gonna, once again, I think it's gonna take us reaching the end of October and not enough being open for these studios to once again go, we're gonna have to move. Because like something like Soul, it was supposed to release on June 17th, and it was like June fucking 10th when they moved it. Like, they waited till the last minute that they could.
Our
Okay,
movie
here
theater
to-
is opening next week.
Yeah,
so
AMC.
here's the big question.
AMC is opening nationally wherever they can on
I didn't
August.
think they'd be allowed to.
Just wherever the states.
Here's a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
question
yeah.
before we move on. Besides Wonder Woman, the other big movie to come out, and this could be pushed back to next year, James Bond, No Time to Die. Like, you think that's still going to come out this year?
They stopped filming.
So,
They stopped filming.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig got hurt almost
Mhm.
before Corona happened, and they stopped filming. So James Bond isn't done yet. So
It is
I-
finished.
I
They
will
went
say
back and
this, though.
finished.
That was
Um,
a week from being released. He was on Saturday Night Live. Like that was done.
It's
That's in the
finished, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this though, and this goes for any of the bigger movies, because smaller things like West Side Story, and I'll include Coming to America too as a smaller movie. Those can come out around the holidays, and those will do pretty well. The
I
movie
think Coming
that's
to America, they
I-
be like Bill and Ted. It could go either way.
Also,
Yeah.
It's
I agree.
around Christmas.
Very niche.
But
Just
look,
to-
you gotta think about it this way: the election's in November. This is all gonna go away, so Trump can say, "I defeated coronavirus," and then everything will be fine. Everything will be open in December. But
Here,
anyway,
there is calculus to this.
but anyway, with bigger movies, the most important movie as far as deciding what's going to come out this year might actually be New Mutants, because if New Mutants comes out and in the US makes 20, 25, even $30 million, you might start to see some of those movies that were going to come out this year and got pushed next year move
So you
back
think it's over
this year
under
because
10?
there's openings.
Like,
Yeah,
I'd
I
say
think-
over under 10 or over under 15.
I think I agree with him. I think New
over
Mutants.
15.
I think New Mutants and Tenet will be a very good testing ground, because if New Mutants makes over a certain amount, New Mutants is a movie that's been on the wait for so long that people had interest, lost it, it came back, and then they lost it again. And so it's like, if this movie makes money, then okay, that's a good testing ground. And then if
I think it
Tenet
makes
comes out the
$5
week
million.
after, but it's an overall. It's not opening weekend.
It could
It's
be
gonna
like
have to be
the-
overall.
To
Oh,
give
well,
an example, something that they had to think about, The Greatest Showman, which didn't do well first, but continued to building on money.
Success
Right.
is so skewed now, though. Like, we can't even think success in the terms that we used to.
I think we should put a pin in what movies are going to come out until we see what happens with New Mutants and Unhinged, which open in the next 2 weeks.
See, I don't think Unhinged will be the one that will really decide it because I
think Unhinged is going to do really good. Like I
had a lot of interest.
Do better than what it would have done. It's probably going to make like 10 million opening weekend. That honestly, for the people that want to go out, I think they might not go out this weekend. They might go out the following weekend for New Mutants, because if you don't have a whole lot of money but you want to go to the theater, you're going to choose between New Mutants and Unhinged. If I was, somebody in that situation, I would choose New Mutants because, like Unhinged, to be honest, might just be one of those like it could be on straight to DVD, whatever throwaway movies, but with Russell Crowe.
So I'm thinking in stubs terms, where they don't activate the stubs until you get your first ticket. So I'm kind of thinking like, okay, do I want to go and then maybe not go for a few months where it'll keep charging my stubs account, or do I want to wait until because it won't charge you until you use it. So
you could just buy a ticket separate.
Now,
I could do that, but I won't.
Matt, I have a question for you real quick. You said people would go see New Mutants over Unhinged.
Oh, yeah.
Now think about the people that have been at home with their children that got, a night off, a night out, just parents. Do you think they would go see New Mutants over Unhinged? I don't. I think they would go see Unhinged because it's an adult movie and you have more chances of being around kids with New Mutants because it is a Marvel.
I don't know about New Mutants. New
Mutants is being pitched as a horror film. It is PG-13, but it's being pitched as a horror
film. Okay, I'll put it this way. Let's say you and the wife want to go out on a date night, and you have to choose between Unhinged or a horror movie, even though it's New Mutants. The wife's going to want to go see the one that's a little scarier. You're going to want to take her because if she gets scared, you can hold on to her. That's a win for you. So New Mutants would be the answer. I mean, she might be scared of Russell Crowe in that movie just because of the way he looks. But
what is this unknown entity that you describe?
Wait, what?
Wife? What is this unknown entity?
All right, and on that note, Wonder Woman fandom at 1 o'clock on Saturday. The second major panel that's happening, I'll just talk about this briefly and we can move on because there's not much to discuss in terms of information with this one. At 1:30, Warner Brothers Games, the Montreal studio, will be having a 20-minute panel where they are revealing a first look at a new game. Now, for those of you who don't know offhand who Warner Brothers Montreal is, they are the studio that developed the Batman Arkham prequel game, Arkham Origins. People believe that the rumor is that there may be another Batman game coming from them. Last year, towards the end of September, they put out a tweet announcing that they were working on something, and the quote with the tweet was "Capture the Night" with a K. So people believe that is a reference to the fact that they are working on another Batman game, either in the Arkham universe or something separate. However, all we know is that there will be a 20-minute panel where they will reveal and then do a brief Q&A afterwards. That'll happen at 1:30 on Saturday afternoon.
So I know a little bit.
Hold on. Chris has been itching to say something.
Okay, I am a video game that did get me excited because I love the Arkham series today. And from what I understand, this will be a Suicide Squad game would kind of get me interested. That's the image that they had there. But yeah,
this is
disputed on that one. This Suicide Squad game is from Rockstar.
Yeah, so that's a different panel that'll happen later. Don't worry, that's Chris. So yeah, so that's a different panel later. We'll get to that. So the next big panel.
Oh, sorry, but I do love the Arkham series. I can't wait to see what they do next. There's a light.
Oh, wait! Everybody, shut up. Devin has something to say.
Okay.
Let's put him on the spot.
Yeah, I was going to do that for you.
All right. So you said tagline or whatever it was "Capture the Night."
Yes.
What if we're not taking that literally enough? What if it's some kind of task force that's trying to capture the bat?
Like Task Force X?
That would sound a little too close to the Suicide Squad game that Rocksteady is
Oh, they're
creating.
separate.
Now,
They're
They're
separate
together.
projects. This
I
is a
thought they were the
separate
same
studio.
now
Oh, I
wait,
thought they were
I have a theory
Okay.
on this one. Hear me out. What if it is a Batman Gaslight game?
Ooh,
Nice.
I don't get excited for games until they're out.
What if it's a Mr. Freeze game?
That'd be cool, but
That's
why?
just what they do.
They did do a lot with Mr. Freeze, but okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next bit. So obviously there are a lot of smaller panels happening in between. All of these panels are like a half hour or less, so there's a lot happening. The next big panel that happens after that is at 3:00 p.m. EST on Saturday will be the panel for the upcoming James Gunn film, The Suicide Squad. Now I'll have to go to a separate tab to get this. Where is it?
I do want to when we get done with the big one.
Hold on, this is Chris. You were in between. This is Aaron's news topics. Aaron has the floor. We break off of it. But God damn it, this is the way.
All right, so here's what it is. So we know that it'll be a 30-minute panel talking about the upcoming film, The Suicide Squad. Now, this isn't on the DC website, but there was a separate video released where it's just a long scrolling list of names in alphabetical order of people who will be at different panels in DC fandom. Now, we know James Gunn will be there. Some of the actors who are on the Suicide Squad cast list that were on that list of names, so they will most likely be at this panel, include Alice Braga, John Cena, Jai Courtney, Nathan Fillion, Pete Davidson, and Margot Robbie. So that'll most likely be the list of actors that'll be with James Gunn for this panel. Now, we know that that's not all of the major characters. It's just a group of actors because Pete Davidson's already come out and said that his is a smaller role. We know Idris Elba has a bigger role. He's not on this list, so we don't know if he'll be there or if he'll like a secret surprise. But those are the list of actors that are confirmed to be there for that half-hour panel as of now.
There was a video they put out kind of teasing it, and it did have Idris Elba talking with like Pete Davidson and all the others that are in it. I didn't see Taika though.
He wasn't on the list of names that they released. So that's why I just know what I know from that.
Okay. I would assume he's going to be on.
Matty, you're killing it.
There's probably nothing for him to do anyway. So why not?
It's awesome. All right, I gotta go. As far as this panel, I'm done. I gotta go. The wife is here, and we got no kids. So you know what that means. I gotta do dishes.
I don't know what that means.
Good to see y'all.
As Careless Whispers
Enjoy
takes
the
our
past
Alan
dressing
away.
and lube, Alan.
Eric, can you go over those names again?
Okay, I apologize. Yes, so the list of names. So obviously on the DC fandom website, the only name confirmed is James Gunn, and it just says like special guest. However, there was a separate marketing video released. Okay.
Sorry,
I
was late on that one.
Did you actually need me to read it again, or was that just for the bit?
That was just for the bit.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Talk about it, assholes.
So here's how I feel because I rewatched. When I ran at my girlfriend's house for the weekend, we watched a bit of the first Suicide Squad movie. I am nervous to see where they go with this one because
I hated
the first
it.
movie was okay at best.
Oh, I hated that piece of shit movie.
Yeah, it had Redeemer.
I love that movie.
It's
I don't worry about
Garbage, it's hot garbage,
garbage.
Here's what I would say. I wouldn't look at the first Suicide Squad as the litmus test for what this will be, because A,
made a lot of money.
That movie got fucked in post, and B,
Made a lot of money though.
it's not David Ayer, it's James
So the
Gunn. So
Transformers.
I honestly believe that the Guardians films are a better testament to look at as to what this could be. Because they've basically straight up said that it's a standalone sequel, but it's like kind of a reboot. Like they're kind of openly admitting, like, yeah, this is kind of our reattempt at doing this.
Like Birds of Prey was.
So
It was
here's
its own thing.
the thing with James Gunn. Love the first Guardian. I like the second one a lot. I hope he'd be able to balance the humor and drama better with it than he did in the second Guardian, because even characters like Drax kind of got dumbed down in the second one. Like, pretty
And Drax
badly.
was literally asleep for all of Infinity War. Literally sleeping.
Because I want him to be what he did with the first one to Suicide Squad, not what he did with the second one.
Second one was devastating though. Like that,
Yeah, the ending was great.
that's still one of the most devastating things in the entire MCU. That made me cry and laugh at the same time.
Yeah,
I think he does a good job mixing. I think you're right though. For most part of that movie, for the most part of Guardians 2, it did lean more towards humor, and then the last 10
and
minutes,
unnecessary subplot, like the whole golden people and their subplot was so unneeded for a lot of the movie.
Okay.
They'll come back.
Has it come out that that's going to be R-rated? Have we?
I believe it's a heavily implied rumor. I don't know if it is 100% confirmed.
I thought Gunn said it was.
If Gunn
Or
said
I
it,
thought
then
they
it's
released
confirmed.
something saying Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad were R-rated.
I only remember seeing it for Birds of Prey. I don't know about Suicide Squad, but again,
Birds of Prey is pretty soft R.
I've definitely seen it tossed around.
Very
so I
soft.
know it's heavily implied. But I actually don't know if anyone from Warner Brothers has confirmed it. I feel like if it is going to be confirmed, it'll probably be here.
Yeah, I'll look it up real quick. Okay, so this was from Collider in 2019. Warner Brothers, Birds of Prey, and the Suicide Squad movies to be rated
There we
R.
Okay.
And that was after they released that after Joker's success. Which
Okay. How about Nathan Fillion? Do you think he'll have a major role in the movie? Because
No, I think he'll die
probably
first.
decent.
or do you think he'll be like one of the few kind of members that die like right off the bat?
Like Slipknot.
Him getting killed just because of Gun.
Same thing as in Guardians. In Guardians, he's literally in the prison, like he's like, oh, I'm gonna slather you up in guava and jelly, go to and then just smashes him and he dies.
Yeah,
So-
I think we can safely say, because I believe Michael Rooker's in it too. Him and Michael Rooker are going to live because James Gunn's directing it, and they're friends of James Gunn.
I think
So,
it's the opposite.
so here's what I was going to say,
Davidson
right?
didn't die.
So here's the thing. I honestly don't know what Nathan Fillion's role is in this because this has such a huge cast. So these are the characters that are confirmed, right? So we know Margot Robbie is playing Harley Quinn. We know Viola is Amanda Waller. Joel Kinnaman's Rick Flag. Jai Courtney is Boomerang. The only new actors that are confirmed, David Dastmalchian is playing Polka Dot Man. An actress named Daniela Melchior, if I pronounced that wrong, I apologize, is playing Ratcheter, and Steve Agee is the voice of King Shark. Now, these are the long list of actors these are the long list of actors without confirmed characters. Idris Elba, John Cena, Storm Reed, Flula Borg, Nathan Fillion, Peter Capaldi, Pete Davidson, Alice Braga, Sean Gunn, Michael Rooker, Taika Waititi, Joaquin Cosio, Mylene.
It's believed Idris is Bronze Tiger. But
right.
Mylene is Peacemaker.
So you think we're gonna get this at this DC Expo?
Okay, so but the point of what I'm saying is there's rumors around all of them, but none of them have actually confirmed cast members yet. So that's what I'm saying is there are so many actors. There are so many actors in this that have no confirmed role that I can't even start to guess where Fillion will fit into that.
I do have.
I literally think Fillion will be dead first.
What if they recasted Jared Leto with Pete Davidson?
No,
it wouldn't need to do much work with the tattoos.
So here's what I think.
Got
Honestly,
the tattoos.
So this is what I believe. Because Pete Davidson was one of the guys.
Bird of Prey or after Bird of Prey also.
I was gonna say Pete Davidson was one of the guys who got pictured when the couple of set photos came out before. Pete Davidson was one of the guys that was in it, and in it he was wearing a uniform and holding a gun. I actually think Pete Davidson's role is going to be something closer to like what Scott Eastwood was in the first one, where he's just one of the guys that's with the team, but he's not actually a Suicide Squad member.
Scott Eastwood is the only one that does commit suicide. Yeah,
he does. Yeah, he does kill himself. But
did they say whether it did take place before Bird of Prey or after Bird of Prey?
Yeah.
It's gonna be after. It's a sequel. Yes.
So Harley somehow gets thrown back in jail, and Waller gets her.
Hopefully, this is like the first good movie with Harley Quinn in a DC thing.
Wow,
I think I like both of them.
Because I did not. I liked
Simpsons
Bird of Prey
and
more than Suicide Squad, but I didn't like it that much.
I'm with you on that.
It really
Matt. Yeah.
felt like it tried to be Deadpool with Harley Quinn in the first half.
Yes.
And that it just didn't work. And it made the character almost just intolerable at times. And then once you get to the actual team, then it got better. So maybe it's just made that her and a team works better than her alone.
I was gonna say, I think she as a lead is just between the performance and the way they've written her so far is an absolutely insufferable lead. I don't think she works as a leading character, but because that movie instantly got better once you fit her into an ensemble.
Yeah.
If that team was in more of the movie, it would have worked. But like her doing the lead and the narration, the Joker left me and all that, it doesn't work. Like. In my opinion, at least, I don't.
And then it only worked when you and McGregor were on screen the first half.
I liked him in the movie.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the few things I liked.
Yeah.
That's why I like personally Suicide Squad better.
Fights are really good though. The fights are incredible.
Yeah, the fights are good too.
Quinn works better in a group. And I think what I like about the group is them coming together, the whole Guardian-esque feel of it.
No, like Doom Patrol, though.
I wish they had the Joker as the bad guy and not try to put.
Where's the Joker showing up with the grenade? Where's the air cut?
Yeah.
All right, and with that, we'll move on.
And on that note, we'll move on. Aaron,
are we getting a trailer with Suicide Squad, or did they do a mock?
Oh yeah, they're gonna have stuff. They're gonna have stuff for the movies.
The movie finished principal production before the COVID happened.
Yeah.
So they will most likely have footage. Yes.
And
okay, so the next one.
Right. And James Gunn with the first Guardians had footage for the first Guardians, like with a week of shooting. So if he could do that with Guardians,
he can fix. Yeah.
That was a very
like. All right, let's
hope not like the first Suicide Squad trailer that gave away too much when you want the original. So.
I love the first one, the first trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next panel, the next big panel is going to be obviously they're all Saturday, August 22nd at 4:30 p.m. It's a very quick 10-minute panel. We have a legendary person himself, Mr. Chris Daughtry, will be live performing his. This is just a joke. So Daughtry have a song called "Waiting for Superman," so he's just going to do like a quick live performance of it. That's what it's going to be.
Wow!
Highlight of the fucking night, I guarantee it.
I don't know, but I kind of like that idea. You know, just something to kind of calm everything down.
It's just fucking Kumbaya with Daughtry. It's something.
I'm going home.
That's a nice idea.
All right.
I just completely. Twice.
Wait, what happened? I'm confused.
Oh, I completely booted Chris from the stream twice.
Why?
Because I'm a dick. Now, what I was making.
Tucking you out now, bitch.
I'm the one that laughed like the Joker.
Okay, all right. So we'll get to a real panel.
What the fuck? I'm not doing it. I swear, I ain't doing
it. Resetting our thoughts.
Reacted to it like a summer breeze. It's like, I think that's nice.
Well, no, like I just kind of like calmed things down between movies because next one's a big movie. Let's kind of give people time to, if they got to go to the bathroom or something, let's just have Chris play one song and we'll come back.
Okay. All right. So just because I need an excuse, it's technically the next panel, but I'm sick of talking about this movie and I need an excuse to go get some water. I'll just go ahead and intro this. At 5:45, the panel is officially called the Snyder Cut of Justice League. It'll be a 25-minute panel in which Zack Snyder will be fielding questions from fans. Now, it does say in the description of the panel that there will be special guests. However, on the list of people that were released for the panel, we know as of now that Ben Affleck, nor Henry Cavill, nor Ray Fisher will be appearing at all at DC Fandom, unless they show. unless they show up in a surprise for this and they were completely left off the roster, it'll be made up of other people. We know that Ezra Miller is confirmed. We'll get to that later. We know that Gal Gadot is confirmed. So like I said, I need to get water. I don't really care about this, but let's let you guys fanboy for 10 minutes. I'll be back.
Did he hit that lady or no?
Okay, so I'm going to start this right here.
I got pee. I'll be back.
Did he hit that lady?
Let's not talk about that.
Okay.
Why not? This is concerning.
So, real quick, I think we are going to see Ben Affleck back in one of these panels. I think Aaron hasn't gotten to it yet. It is a TBD panel. I think it will either be a Superman panel or a Batman panel.
You're announcing a show at some point, like a Ben Affleck Batman series.
This isn't a different. That'll be in a different panel. This is a movie panel.
Oh wow!
Okay, so Snyder Cut will come out. We'll get our trailer. Nikki, Devin. Obviously, we will be going live when that happens.
I've gotten one technically.
And we will. Well, no, we'll get it. I'm thinking we're going to get a trailer.
Oh no, I'm talking about the one they released 3-4 years ago, like the first Justice League trailer before we.
No. What I'm saying is they're going to get a whole new trailer.
Oh no, I know.
All Zack Snyder stuff, and you and I will come on, and we will do a live reaction to it because that's just the way we are now. No, you don't have a voice in this. This is Nikki and me. I can throw you out again. This is me and Nikki. We've been talking about release the Snyder Cut for a long time. So it's coming out. I think, honestly, Zack Snyder will have some stuff to drop. Henry Cavill, like John Campea did this whole like list of breaking shit down, and I wish I had wrote it down because I think they're going to announce Henry Cavill coming back as Superman in some way or another.
I thought Shazam, like that Superman, like that's another thing I hate about Shazam. I think the whole third act of Shazam is atrocious, but nothing is worse than that just gratuitous ball shot of Superman where it's just like it's just chest down. It's Superman. It's the cheapest thing ever. Like that's something that you would see in a commercial. I thought it was garbage.
I don't know, but let's save that Shazam comment until we get to the panel once Aaron gets his shit together.
I'll ever see.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see what Zack Snyder has in play. I think they could be also announcing the fact that there are people TBD with this, that maybe Ben Affleck's coming back for Zack Snyder-led things.
Yeah, probably stuff for HBO Max is what the rumors have been.
Which is, I don't care. As long as Ben Affleck's back in the cow, I don't care.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
I am on to mind for this because we watched so much Justice League today because of on TV.
I did that too.
It did not hold well up well.
It's horrible. It's so bad.
And the biggest issue, like, especially with, like, I've worried with the Snyder Cut, especially with Ezra Miller, where he gets less annoying with Snyder Cut. He got...
no. I think for sure he'll be less annoying.
Yeah, and, like, the stuff... And the Steppenwolf stuff is so bad. Like, I hope it redeem a lot of what...
They're going to have a different voice actor for Steppenwolf is one of the things I was wondering when I was watching it. Because I thought the voice actor for Steppenwolf was terrible, too.
And it's Kevin Hine.
I don't think it's the voice actor that did it. I think it's the way that they kind of like with Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Like I can't stand Enchantress's voice. That
but like this is an opportunity, I think, to like distance yourself from the Whedon cut. Cast somebody else as the voice, just so that we're not connected to that all. Oh, mother.
No, but
it was awful.
But here's the thing, like, and it's not because Kevin Hine is a really excellent actor and other stuff. He could play Ellen really well.
It's just I think you should, but like that would be a good way to just distance yourself to say this is not Steppenwolf from 3 years ago. This guy's menacing. Like cast somebody like a bigger name than him. like to come in, do the voice acting. Hell, get Brolin if you want to.
Ving Rhames' voice would work really well.
Ving Rhames would be cool. Yeah, get anybody, just somebody that would be more menacing. Because it's just after seeing the version of Justice League that we got, that voice can never be menacing for me. Like once you see Adam Driver in The Force Awakens, you just can never take Kylo Ren seriously. Devin can't take Kylo Ren seriously.
I mean, and not to get too behind it, just I think the directing and the way they told him to do his voice, like because in Game of Thrones and other stuff, he's really good at playing villain as well.
As if like the director does much for voiceover, though they really don't.
Well, they could have,
especially in a role like that where it wasn't performance capture; it was just like a voiceover. You're not getting much of the director now with the Snyder cut. If he's somebody that Joss Whedon added, if he's somebody that they added late in the game, this is something that Snyder could actually work with him on. Because Snyder, he actually works in every single aspect of his movie. You probably had some sort of secondary production assistant working with him in the VO booth.
Okay,
get on.
Crazy idea. Snyder,
face?
you're listening to this. Clancy Brown at Steppenwolf.
Ooh, yeah, the Clancy Brown would be very good. Yeah.
The guy that was in not the first Hunger Games, but the last two, he's playing the Watcher in that Marvel What If show or whatever. You know, one of the more deeper voice. I'll pull the guy up.
Jeffrey Wright?
Yeah. He's playing Commissioner. No, because he's playing Commissioner.
Yeah, he's already
well, that's in Robert.
It's a different universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do that just for that sake.
Lower his voice. Like,
Michael Ironside.
Michael, I think you can do better.
Get me.
Yeah, Michael Ironside. I mean, that's something you would get.
Like, this isn't Dark Side. You can have some like Michael Cera voice guy.
About Justice League, though, if you don't know anything about the Justice League, if you don't know anything about Darkseid, when Steppenwolf just says for Darkseid, if you have no idea what that means, you're probably just for Darkseid. What does that mean? For the Darkseid? Who is this guy? Why?
They were so wasted in the Justice League.
They never mentioned anything about Darkseid other than that movie. It is a terrible movie.
Helen Hunt for Darkseid, sorry, for Steppenwolf. Progressive is what we're for here.
Why not have be Holly Hunter? Holly Hunter comes back from the dead to be Steppenwolf. I mean, you could be Holly Hunter. Maybe we'll have made best of Steppenwolf. Mr. Steppenwolf. Mr. Steppenwolf.
No, Nikki wins. I love Nick. Oh, fuck all y'all. I think Nikki's Jar Jar impression is priceless. Nikki's Jar Jar impression goes to this show like when a goldfish does to Collider Live.
Yeah, that got canceled, so we hope
goldfish. Yeah.
I also wonder if
there you go, Mahershala Ali.
Snyder Cut with
sold.
Is Steve's continuity right? Because in one of
Bryan Cranston.
Talk about continuity, dude. Like
Bryan Cranston in too. Bring him in.
Because in Justice League we watching today, he mentioned that she loses her love interest, but yet in 1984 she brings him back to life.
We don't know how he comes back.
Yeah.
We don't know it.
We're gonna announce that.
Jeff Goldblum.
I'm gonna read Thanos quotes as Jar Jar Binks.
Get Jeff Goldblum to play us.
No, man.
Hello, the Batman.
Please do more of that, though.
We didn't hear none of that.
Yeah.
Hello there, Justice League. Are you a man who turned into a bat?
Speaking of actors that may or may not come back to the DCU, you think Will Smith will ever come back?
You could not live in what you saw on failure. And where did that bring you, sir? Back to me, sir.
What about Christopher Walken?
Christopher Walken would be good. Well, what about
okay, Eric, let's go to a new topic.
What about Frank Busey?
Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka playing Steppenwolf.
Yeah, you could have Johnny Depp as Steppenwolf. So when there's that scene where he's fighting a bird, take the atomic jacket.
Based on true events. You can literally have in that scene based on true events.
Yeah,
And
literally, it would be wonderful.
All right,
Yeah,
and
Upton,
so,
Johnny Depp, definitely.
Johnny Depp would be a terrible.
What's next?
and so if you
It's not a good
decide
voice
to
actor.
view the Justice League panel, which I'm sure we had great discussion about, immediately,
Why are you fighting this?
I'm kidding.
Why
Immediately after, there will be at 6:10 a 15-minute Black Adam panel featuring Dwayne Johnson. Now, as of now, the only other major confirmed people at the film would be the director John Colette Sarah or his co-star Noah Centineo. Neither are confirmed for the panel. It seems like it'll just be a 15-minute Q&A with Dwayne Johnson. But you never know what'll happen. But yeah, this movie is a movie that's been around for years, and this is the closest tangibility we finally had on it. So, anyone excited?
I think we'll see promo art. That's about it. They haven't really started filming yet, I don't believe.
Yeah.
I think we'll see maybe some promo art, maybe The Rock in Black Adam costume. That's about it.
Yeah,
Only some
I'm not
casting
expecting
news,
anything from this. Besides him going, I'm playing Black Adam, and the movie's coming out at some point. Depends
Hopefully,
when I
Dr.
have time
Ben
to
Affleck.
film.
All right,
Yeah.
next.
Okay. Did you guys talk about the TVA panel and what you think it might be?
No, not yet.
No, I brought it up. I think it's either going to be I think it's going to be something Ben Affleck or something Henry Cavill related.
So to describe what this is really quickly, at 6:50 p.m. there is a TBA panel. There has been no topic or thing announced. Like there's no details on the DC fandom website. It's literally just an open slot for them to put something in.
Maybe Stargirl.
No, Stargirl already has a confirmed thing. It's just not.
Doom
I
Patrol.
didn't bring. Yeah, so
I love Stargirl.
Does Green Lantern have a confirmed one yet?
So
Doom
I,
Patrol have
rumor.
one, Abel?
okay, so I did say this at the start, but I'll say it again. With the exception, I don't know if Green Lantern does, but I did check the others. Every single DC TV show, either set to air later this year or having already aired, does have a panel. They're just not listed under the main Hall of Heroes panels. I think there's one called like Hero Watch or something that they're listed under there. It's just there's so many of them that I decided not to bring any of them up specifically. It's just all TV shows will have a panel. If you guys go to the DC fandom website, all you have to do is just sign up with an email and you can view their whole schedule ahead of time. And there's even an option where you can click on specific panels and input it as a reminder into your Google Calendar. So if you only want to view for those shows, you can do that.
So does anybody else like here watch any like DC shows? Like because I was just like
not enough to comment.
Not enough.
I have
Chris, I know you like Doom Patrol. I think.
Chris is frozen.
Beer, do you watch any DC shows? So me and Devin are the only ones that really watch DC shows.
Yeah. So if you want to talk about that for a minute, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just love Stargirl. I think that show overperformed. Like I wasn't expecting anything from that show. Stargirl is a D-list hero at best, and she's getting her own show. Like I thought that was stupid when I heard about it, and then they released it early because of the coronavirus stuff. I loved it. I thought the tone was perfect. The product placement was gratuitous, but it allowed them to have a big budget. It allowed them to have Wilson, but it's really good.
Let me toss you this question since you are a fan. So the first thing is obviously this was a show that was developed for the streaming service that then also began simultaneous airing on CW. However, it is now confirmed with the second season that it will just be airing on CW, not on DC, whatever it's called, DC Universe. Right.
Yeah, DC Universe.
Do you believe that will have an effect on the quality of the show? Do you think they'll keep it as
because of the product placement. Because of the product placement.
As long as they keep up the product placement.
Because the product placement is what allowed them to double dip. The product placement, like the product that's sponsored, the shows sponsored, wanted them to do that. Because when you're on the DC app, like they say there's no ads, but there's ads, believe me. The ads are in the TV. There's this kid in the show. His only job for like the first 8 episodes of the season is to be new product placement. Nintendo Switch, Pop-Tarts, Hershey's syrup. So much product placement. It is so blatant. It is so gratuitous. And I hope they keep it because it made the show look incredible. So I don't think it will be like the other CW shows. I think if there's a comparison we should draw from is to look at how Batwoman is produced, because Batwoman is produced like a show that should be more on the streaming service. It has a more cinematic aspect ratio, and they do location shooting.
Yeah.
So I think Stargirl won't be as affected by that as long as they have the cast locked down. And I think they have Luke Wilson locked down because he was the best part of the show.
Wow.
Internet, or I was going to say Aaron's out first.
He's back. He's right there.
Oh, he looks.
There he is. Hi.
He was froze for a second, but now
You're
he's
left
back.
for a
That guy, the
second.
internet
You're
doing
back.
it.
Hi.
Oh, me?
Miss
Yeah.
you. Hi.
What's up? My internet did its normal thing.
I thought so.
Okay, so see, I didn't realize that the product placement was that gratuitous, so that actually does make sense as to why they have the money. So yeah, okay.
That's why they double dipped because like that's why they put it on CW. Nothing else to put
I
on
only
CW at the time. Might have
Harley Quinn in Doom Patrol.
Is it my Wi-Fi or is Chris breaking up?
No,
It's
Chris
on
is
my
breaking
end
up.
too. It's on my end too.
I don't think I haven't even started Doom Patrol season 2
Yeah.
just because I hated season 1 so much.
I'm waiting for season 2 to finish, and then I'll probably binge both at some point.
I don't think I can handle another binge of Doom Patrol. Like that show, I just hated it. It's like I am so bored watching this. It's a superhero show.
Did you, out of curiosity, did you watch Umbrella Academy?
Yes, season 1, I hated it.
Okay, so you just don't like that tone. There
No,
we go.
we went over this last week. I really liked Gerard Way. I really like My Chemical Romance. I just hate those two shows.
You're right. As soon as I said it, I was like, we've talked about this. Yeah.
No, I don't know what it is. I do know what it is. They're boring. I don't like the characters to start, and then like I can't care about the characters later on. Like it's like 3 episodes in, I still don't care about any of the characters. You're not going to get me after that point. They're irredeemable.
All right, so I'll go ahead and introduce the next panel. So the next one isn't really a panel. It seems like it's going to be more of a behind the scenes look. But at 7 p.m. EST, there will be a 10-minute Aquaman panel that will be hosted by James Wan and Patrick Wilson. And according to the description on DC, it's going to be focused more on the behind the scenes of the first one rather than really talking anything concrete about the sequel. Now, I do have a news story that kind of has some relation to this. So James Wan was answering questions on Twitter earlier today, or maybe a couple days ago, relating to Aquaman 2 and some of the things that may be in it. And somebody asked him, is there going to be some sort of horror influence on Aquaman 2 in a similar way that the Trench were a little bit of a horror-ish influence on the first one? And so his answer on Twitter was, I would say yes, just like the first movie had a touch of my horror sensibility in it in regards to the trench sequence. I would say there will be a little bit of that in the next one. I think it's something that that's a big part of who I am, and it just naturally comes out in these kind of films, especially in a movie like Aquaman, where the story takes place in these underwater worlds that can be very scary. So naturally, my love for the horror genre just means that I latch myself to these scenes and try to give them a little bit more of my scary sauce, as the dolphins having an orgasm in the background. So what do you guys think? Does essentially, from what it seems like, it's a behind the scenes, just like a quick behind the scenes 10-minute video, like something that'd come on a Blu-ray maybe. Do you guys interested or?
I mean, it sounds like he just saying that he had seen from The Boys with the dolphin.
Does this mean I actually have to watch the first Aquaman now before I watch this panel?
Probably not a bad idea, but
I mean, I like half of the first Aquaman. I like the Aquaman versus Black Manta movie. I don't like the Aquaman underwater with the crustacean Admiral Akbar. But I like half of that movie. I like Tamara Morrison. I like Black Manta. I like the whole thing where like his dad died because like Aquaman was kind of showboating at the moment. Like I like how he created his own demons there. The underwater fight for the kingdom, that part I didn't care about as much. So, and that was more the primary focus of the movie. So that's why Aquaman, I kind of like have a bad taste in my mouth from, because the Black Manta stuff in that movie was so like good. But then the quest, like the stuff for the kingdom. Like I didn't really like that. The sort of national treasure like stuff where they were like searching like on a treasure quest. I did like that part.
Wonderful
It's just more the
announcement.
underwater.
So you
The
didn't
part
like
about
the
the
Julie
underwater-
Andrew at the Kraken.
Yeah.
So I think I agree with Nikki. I like the first third of it, and the last half. That second act, I'm not a huge fan of.
Everything that wasn't underwater was great.
Well, I don't even mind some of the underwater stuff. Just like in my opinion, they leaned too heavy on the ocean master part.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they had, in my opinion, even if they it would be good. Just like in my opinion, the original Wonder Woman, I like the first 90% of it. I don't like the last little bit with Ares.
When they do the flip with David Lewis.
CGI lightning fight, yeah.
Right.
At that part, I don't even watch anymore. Like I don't like.
Yeah.
I love
the best part and the worst part of Aquaman is the score, because every time they say Ocean Master or Black Manta, the score will literally go boom, boom, boom. It's like, so you know who the bad guy is in case you didn't realize before. It's like not subtle at all.
Like
I don't know.
Great. Like that scene in the trench, in my opinion, was
cool.
Great. Ripping its.
Look, Jason Momoa is not my Aquaman. Okay?
All I will say about Aquaman is Pitbull did a remix of Toto's Africa, and with that, we will move on.
Okay, now I'm not watching it.
It's great. It's great. It's so funny.
I can't.
You can watch it in your mind, turn off a fun movie to watch.
I can't see Toto by Africa be destroyed. This song cannot be destroyed.
Oh my god! The only thing I've seen with Wonder Woman, the Chris Pine sacrificing himself.
I had to shut Africa off so we didn't get flagged.
That was it. Okay. All right. So
either way, Jason Momoa is not my Aquaman. Vinny Chase is my Aquaman. So I will not support this.
What about Justin Hartley? Is Justin Hartley not your Aquaman?
No, Vinny Chase.
Justin Hartley in the unaired Aquaman pilot that they made for the WB years back. Adrian Palicki, the queen of unaired pilots, was in that pilot.
Only
Vinny Chase. We'll move on.
Adrian Palicki is hot. Don't move on.
So the next one isn't much of a panel. So on the DC, so it's the Shazam panel. So on the DC website, they say that the crew will not be talking much about Shazam 2, but it seems like it is a pre-screened, questioned 10-minute Q&A. Now, the interesting thing about it is the cast members that are confirmed for the panel include obviously director David F. Sandberg, but we also have Zach Levi, Asher Angel, what's his name? So Zach Levi, Asher. I was gonna say Zach Levi, Asher Angel, Mark Strong, Jack Dylan Grazer, Adam Brody, and I believe a couple of the other kids are going to be there.
Adrian Brody or Adam Brody? Close your eyes and open your mouth.
I said okay.
We should play that game later. Adrian Brody or Adam Brody? Predators. Which one?
That's Adrian Brody.
Okay, we'll play it later. Close your eyes and open your mouth. Okay, Aaron. Sorry, I had to. That joke you allied and I ooped.
Did I say Adrian Brody? Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
No, you said Adam Brody. I wanted people to know that.
Okay. So that's interesting. So like I said, obviously they won't be talking much about Shazam 2, but it seems like it'll just be a basic Q&A video with as much of the Shazam cast as they could get to be in it. Any quick thoughts on that one, since there's not much here?
Every time you say Shazam, I'm gonna hit that button.
Not a whole lot to say about Shazam.
I mean, I love the first movie. I wish they gave information about the second one.
I actually watched Shazam.
Ooh. Okay, go ahead, Matty.
I actually watched Shazam today. I actually really like Shazam.
Yeah, not with some people who think the last half of the church. I love the final fight.
I like the last half.
The part where they all become Shazam, that just it's too soon. It's like if you have a Batman origin story, and then by the end of the movie, there's Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing, Batwing, Red Hood,
Batwoman,
fucking Huntress. It's like if you had a Batman origin story, and then by the end of the movie, all of that stuff was there. You got to build
Batman,
up.
Batman's
But
fucking
add to
Huntress.
the seediness and what
I
made
would-
the
I
movie
would-
fun
I
to
would
watch.
I mean, no. I was just saying. I was just naming off like Batman sidekicks.
Okay,
like-
so the next big one after
Yeah,
that, we have two panels left we can talk about. The next big one after that is going to be at 8:10 p.m. And it will be a panel hosted by Lego Batman Will Arnett. And it'll be we're talking to higher up devs at Rocksteady Studios talking about their upcoming game, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So that is the official name of the Suicide Squad game, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It is being
Is that
developed
your
by
campaign to like stop the Snyder Cut or something?
it is being made by the Rocksteady, who are the developers of the main 3 Arkham games, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. So any quick thoughts on that, guys?
Yeah,
Wait,
hold on. I do. I just don't.
I'm just curious if they're going to announce if it's an Xbox exclusive. Since Microsoft was in pretty deep.
As someone, I play all 4 on the Arkham game. Love them. I am worried the continuity sake, and also DJ be about a lot of the original breakdown.
Continuity sake for what? Because there's no. I
But
don't know
like
if
at the
it's
end,
in-
okay, spoiler alert for a game that just came out a couple years ago. At the end of Arkham Knight, Bruce Wayne goes into Manor and he blows himself up along with Alfred.
Right, but there's no
Right.
confirmation that this is taking place in that universe. This could be a totally separate
Yeah.
game.
Same thing as the Arkham VR. In Arkham VR, he murders everyone. In that, like, there is no continuity. There was like 2 separate Arkham comic books that were supposed to be continuations. One of Arkham City, one of Arkham Knight. Both of them have different endings than like the next video game had. There is no continuity when it comes to those Arkham games.
Right.
That is true.
Star Trek. There's no continuity in Star Trek.
They could use the Suicide Squad game as, I guess, the first game in a brand new Batman universe because there's so many different, things.
They could have it
Obviously,
take place in the Injustice universe if they want
Yeah,
to.
I mean, this can take place anywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe that could.
They have many video game universes.
I don't know if they could do that. NetherRealm Studios is a different studios from Rocksteady.
It's
I
owned
mean,
by,
Okay,
it's the multiverse, multiverse. You know,
I have
it's
one
all
question, and
video games. I play them. I like them when they're DC.
I have one question
That's
and
all I
one
care
question.
Yes, Chris.
Did Mark Hamill
Yeah.
did come back to play voice the Joker? You guys think if they do it?
There's no confirmation that Joker's even in the game.
Yeah.
But
it's
he
just
was
Suicide
the
Squad.
Joker
Just jump
was
up
in
with
the
a
game.
grenade.
Yeah.
This is
I
just my answer to all of Chris's comments.
it's a game. Yes.
So they
Yeah, but it
could
didn't have the.
work with Neverland.
What I would say is if Joker is in it, if it's a Joker that matches the need of the personality from Mark Hamill, they probably will. He doesn't have very many qualms about continuing to do it. But I can't say for sure because for all I know, this game could be a totally different tone and require a totally different Joker, which they've done because in Arkham Origins he was voiced by Troy Baker, so they could totally switch it up.
That was more, but even that Joker, like that Joker was clearly doing a Mark Hamill impression. Injustice wasn't Hamill either. But it sounded a lot like it.
And all the game of fantastic.
Troy Baker
Those
had
were
to do
times
it.
they didn't want to pay him.
Troy Baker had to do a Joker, Mark Hamill impression because it was the same Joker. It was a prequel.
Yeah, that's what
I mean, it wasn't bad. He did a good job.
They don't want to pay him. So if they want to pay Hamill, they'll get Hamill. But if they want to put the money elsewhere, then they won't pay Hamill.
Yeah, Troy Baker.
Okay.
Not that choice. He is.
All right, and then so the final P's panel. So just so you guys know, from what I could gather on the website, all the other different strands of panel types have content going all day long, like for 24 hours. For the he was making child play.
That was years. That was like
That
that wasn't that long ago.
That would
They got
work.
Mark
Except
Hamill in that
Arkham
project
Origins was
after
in 2013.
photography was done.
No, that's why he had to do the impression because he was making Child's Play.
In 2013.
Sure.
No, he wasn't. That was like within
They came out in 24.
Okay.
Well, I know
all right,
in
so-
Arkham Origin,
Aaron, let Aaron finish.
but I thought
He's almost done. He's almost there.
was also Mark Hamill.
Wait, what game was Mark Hamill? Arkham Knight
I
was
thought
Hamill.
he was in Arkham Knight because
Arkham Knight
was
Arkham,
Hamill
he was in Arkham Knight, Arkham City, Arkham Asylum.
Yes, it was just because it was Warner Brothers Montreal. They don't have the money probably, so they couldn't.
Batman Vengeance.
Okay, all right. So Jesus Christ. Okay. So the last panel that they have is going to be a half-hour panel that is focusing on Matt Reeves's The Batman. Now I believe they've already said that it'll be Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson. I don't believe any other actors will be a part of it. It'll just be the two of them. But yeah, so what I was going to say was, so for anyone who is interested in DC fandom, but maybe you are in a different time zone, all the other different streams of content are going to have continuous different panels over the course of the 24 hours. But the main Hall H of this, which is the Hall of Heroes, has a set bit of content. And
Why didn't they call it the Hall of Justice? That's a missed opportunity.
And
Hall
the final panel,
Hall of Justice, Hall, still there.
The final panel will be the Batman panel, which will be a half hour. So it'll run from 8:30 to 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, they will do the Wonder Woman panel again. And so they will play the entire set of panels again from 9 o'clock till I think it's 2 in the morning, or maybe a little later than that. And then they will do a third encore, which will take them to the very end of the DC universe, the DC fandom event. So if you miss the initial set of streams, if you're in a different time zone, don't worry about it. They will be doing 2 encores of every panel in the main Hall of Heroes sets. So you will have other opportunities to watch these streams. It'll just be after the initial airing. So with that being,
I mean, here what you could do, you just go on the stream, pause it, and then come back and rewind.
Once it's on the internet, it's on the internet forever.
Okay, so with that being said, there's another story that plays into Batman. So this is a half-hour panel. So I believe the only other panel that is a full half hour is the Suicide Squad one, which will most likely include footage as well. Now, there was confirmation about the Batman scooting schedule. So the Batman was currently in production in the UK when they had to shut down for coronavirus. Now, according to insider sources, and I believe this was reported by The Wrap, they are saying that the Batman had filmed about 7 weeks of production and still has 11 weeks to go in total production, which will resume in early September.
Harley Quinn, nice to meet ya.
You said Suicide.
His stream gets flagged.
Well, no, it's just
I'm known to be quite vexing. I'm just forewarning you.
You said Suicide Squad. I was trying to get the.
I did not say Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
You said the Suicide Squad.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So yeah. So that will. Yes, Matty. We know. So. Man, fuck this shit. Talk about Robert Pattinson's abs. All right, I'm done.
I am.
His ass.
So compared to the other Batman, I think Robert Pattinson was pretty skinny when he signed on to the role. I haven't seen his abs in quite some time. But if we're going Robert Pattinson in Twilight, I don't think his abs match up to the Christian Bale or the Ben Affleck Batman. I don't really care about abs, though. What I really care about is Batman. Does he look cool? Does he have cool gadgets?
It's going to be Batman Year 2. I think it's going to be Batman Year 2.
I want Batman Year 2.
I believe they actually have confirmed it.
Nikki, do you want to see Robert Pattinson's abs?
No, I don't.
He has abs.
I don't want to look at them.
I can confirm this.
I don't want to see Robert Pattinson's gross body. No, thank you.
Show it.
I'm sorry. He doesn't have a gross body. I just don't want to look at it.
Matty said show it. Oh wait, no, that's invite.
It's not my cup of tea.
We don't like people here. Okay, Robert Pattinson's abs.
I don't want to look
Google
at it.
Search it.
No,
there's his abs right here. Look.
He looks pretty jacked.
Morty ruined
Hey,
abs
we're
for you.
looking at.
Oh no, I wasn't even thinking that.
Yeah.
He had little baby abs in Twilight.
He looks like a little baby man.
Little baby abs.
I don't know, Batman Year 2, he's not going to be as yoked as like Ben Affleck.
Oh, I don't care. You're the one that told me to talk about his abs. No, Aaron's the one that told me to talk about his abs.
I'm
sorry.
At least I didn't look up anything else because
you just did that. You just pulled up his abs.
And I'm looking forward to his take.
You said you didn't look up anything. You did.
I said I didn't look up anything else.
The conversation about Robert Pattinson.
Okay. I want to see his Bruce Wayne. I don't really care about Batman.
You want to see his Bruce Wayne? Is that what they're calling it?
Little Wayne. Google.
Well, I'm gonna put the description of this video in the private chat just so you guys can read what I put. So it kind of plays into our discussion.
I inspected
okay,
out.
Thank God we didn't get anything weird.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
No, you can't do it.
All right, so the description of this video is in our private chat. If y'all would like to look at it,
Description of
this video.
He hasn't changed it yet.
I mean, if you want to have an idea of what his Bruce Wayne's going to look like,
There
is a comic book that shows that.
No. Like his attitude, because Bruce Wayne's kind of powdery.
His attitude, his ego. Yes, we know.
I want to see if he's gonna bring like he did to. Oh, fuck, what's the movie?
Good Time.
Yes, Good Time. Thank you. That is like my favorite A24 movie. Just FYI.
Even The Lighthouse, like that kind of.
No. I want to see that kind of nasty.
He wants to see that
with
nasty
the Brooklyn
way.
accent or whatever accent he had in it. You want to have?
I like
him talk like that.
I don't want to see a good Lighthouse.
So that's what we got. We got Sex Luthor and we got Nasty Wang.
Is that wasn't that Ken Jeong's name in the Hangover films? Nasty Wang, wasn't that his name?
No. It was Transformers and it was Deep Wang.
Deep Wang.
Deep Wang.
Transformers 3: Dark in the Moon.
Terrible movie.
I mean, I love Pattinson, but I'm more looking forward to.
All right, let's play a game, shall we? Speaking of game, well, I'm trying to change the subject. Awesome. I think we're gonna see a little bit of something from Batman. Maybe a full costume, but nothing. Maybe a little bit of like a few minute trailer, maybe like a teaser trailer, but that's about it.
Okay, so my final thing that I'll say on it, we can move on. It doesn't have to become a discussion. So what I will say is if for anyone who doesn't know this, Colin Farrell is cast in the movie as the Penguin, which sounds like one of the most weirdest outside casting choices ever.
Instead of Andy Serkis.
So it's Colin Farrell as Penguin. Andy Serkis is playing.
Andy Serkis. That should be the other way around.
Alfred. Okay.
It's a face-off.
Are we going to get the Irish
30 minutes of it.
If it's not you, it's your sound bites. Let me get there. Okay, so it's basically if you guys.
Oh, I couldn't help it. That's what she said, Aaron. Let me get there. Compared to what the classic Penguin character is, Colin Farrell is a really, really different choice. What I would say is, if anyone's curious, a couple of years ago, a company named Telltale Games released their own Batman game. This is the same company that made The Walking Dead. Look up clips from that Telltale Games version of Batman, which shows a penguin, which is a thicker Cockney British accent. He's skinnier, he's slicker. It honestly, playing that game made me see, I think, what inspired Colin Farrell a bit in this movie. Like it's kind of inspired casting at that point. Yeah.
I was thinking
I looked up for a second. I saw that.
It was a comic that came out a few years ago.
What happened?
I was like, "What are you doing?"
But even like
there was a comic, Batman Earth 1. It was a one-shot that came out a few years ago. The Penguin in that reminded me a lot.
Matty, doesn't that thing belong to your wife?
Colin Farrell.
But even like Gotham, where Penguin would play so different than what you usually get.
Yeah, I liked Penguin on Gotham.
bigger
I
than
didn't
that.
think it was that different though. He was still like he got there.
Yeah.
I need Colin. I need him to do that. I need him to go. I need him to do
The
it.
end of it, hopefully he will die off the first 50 minutes of the movie like Black Panther.
I just need Colin Farrell to play the Penguin just like he played his character in The Gentleman. I just need some fucking Irish prick in a fucking jumpsuit.
That was so good. Oh my god.
So good in that
We
movie.
beat the guy up with the sauce. And, yes. Evan hasn't seen that yet. You gotta see that movie. The Gentleman.
The sauce?
The Gentleman. Yeah, you gotta see it. You
Yeah,
gotta squirt the sauce on a guy.
Definitely keep that in Colin Farrell alone.
What the
Okay,
All right.
Maddie,
What was
were you trying to say you hadn't seen The Gentleman?
Correct.
Okay. This is technically a spoiler, but I'm going to say it without context as a way to try and encourage you to watch the movie.
It's a good movie.
Colin Farrell forces someone to fuck a pig.
Okay, that's the worst part of the movie. No, that's the worst part of the movie. That's the worst part of the movie.
I want to say this, and please, I don't care what you say. Because you said that, I'm curious to find out the context of why he does that. So now I'm even more obligated to watch it.
It's the worst part of the movie.
The point of
Oh, I loved it. It's not the worst part. I loved it.
No, it's the fight sequences with Colin Farrell. Just the way that guy talked. He was so cool.
Him and Hugh Grant made the movie entertaining.
Hold on. Are you thinking about? You're thinking of a different character. Colin Farrell doesn't fight anyone in the movie physically.
In The Gentleman?
Yeah,
No, he
does
doesn't.
the introduction scene.
Are you thinking of?
He's in the restaurant, in the takeout restaurant, and he squirts the sauce at the guy.
Yeah, it's the first
You take down a bunch of schoolboys.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, there's a bunch of little punks, and he just serves them. It's amazing.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
They can just
Also,
Okay.
Hugh Grant, you want another good reason to watch the movie. Hugh Grant
was good too, yeah. Hugh Grant was interesting.
I'm curious to see Charlie Hunnam in the movie. I thought
He's good.
I thought he was really good in Sons of Anarchy, and I thought he was pretty decent in Pacific Rim. It's just one of those ones I did get. I kind of stopped watching the movies because I have to appease, because I'm doing school and everything. Plus, I'm doing Caleb schooling, so we kind of stepped back from watching movies recently. Plus, I've kind of had to turn him more towards his direction. But I do want to see it.
Here's what I would say.
It's better than
first off, I think Charlie Hunnam gives a really great performance in the film. Okay.
That was a penguin.
I think that one of the biggest things is I'm someone who has said in a lot of different movies, I thought Charlie Hunnam has been really stiff. I think Charlie Hunnam is better. I think Charlie Hunnam is better when he doesn't have to do an accent. Like, I think when he's not having to focus on doing an accent, he can just be himself. Because The Gentleman is the most himself that he's ever gotten to be. It's his natural accent. He's Matthew McConaughey's assistant, and the entire time his role is just brute thug. He's just in a lot of the movie, and he's entertaining the whole way through.
He's so sophisticated about it, too.
The combat role after the
So is it kind of similar to like this Sons of Anarchy character he played? Because he seemed really loose. Well, like because if you've seen he's real loose. You can tell he's really like motivated to be in the character. Is it
the guy he plays in Gentleman is better than you, and he knows it. Like he's like so just
he's
civilized, put together. Like he's part of like this criminal enterprise, but like he's got his life together. And
so he's McConaughey's assistant in it, and he's playing brute thug. But there are multiple scenes where he shows himself to be the smartest person in the room, and then it's just if the smarts doesn't work, then he'll pull out a gun and fucking shoot you, and like that's that.
That's how I describe with one word: smooth.
Henry Golding's great in it too.
Like I said, all bitches,
Henry Golding, right? Last name
Golding's really good in it too. Yeah.
Like I said,
really
if any bitches have it VOD, just send me the link. I'll watch it.
I'm against VOD.
Like if y'all on like Voodoo or whatever, just send me a
Honestly,
a really good comeback for.
Honestly, I wanted to buy it on Blu-ray, so if I buy it and there's a code in it, I'll give it to you.
Right on. All right, now I want to go to the topic I wanted to talk about. Aaron, you have the kind of the idea behind it. Take a look at this picture of this billboard. It looks really strange, doesn't it? It says Steve-O Gnarly, a very naughty multimedia special now available at steve-o.com. If you look in the middle, it looks like there's something hanging there, right?
That's a guy.
It's a man.
That is Steve-O, the guy from Jackass. He literally, to promote his movie. Now, if you look behind him, he's actually tethered in so he won't fall off the duct tape. Yeah. Him and a professional stunt crew set it up. But for like 2 days, he has been duct taped to this billboard in downtown LA.
That's a good idea.
You know,
it's
for
a really
somebody
good time to do that in California right now.
Yeah, because it's raining.
How many people tried to climb the thing?
Probably a lot. But when he posted this picture, what I want to talk about, I want to focus on this picture right here. You notice the car on the ground? That car is calling 911. He literally put out a statement, a tweet, Facebook, etc. Actually called the LAPD and said, "I am up here safely. This is a promotional stunt. Don't send anybody." They actually at first sent fire trucks and shit to get him down. Do you guys think that that's the billboard itself makes sense? Because, you know, if he's going to, you know, be asking for $10 to watch the video, that's fine. But then when you actually realize that it's him up there, to me, it kind of makes me watch it a little more, just because I grew up watching Jackass. Like I posted a post today the other day that says, "I grew up watching Jackass and People of Bam. You grew up eating Tide Pods and something else. We have grown up totally differently."
I think it's
so. We're curious to actually watch it just because of the promotional stuff. I wouldn't have known it was posted, besides the fact I follow him on social media.
Like, I don't think recklessness like that should be rewarded. I mean, people are driving on that road. If you're driving on that road and then you see somebody taped to a billboard without reading the billboard, you're thinking, "Oh my God, that guy got kidnapped," or "That's a college student that's getting hazed or bullied or that just got mugged." That's incredibly irresponsible. And I'm glad that like the police went to the fire department and still tried to take him down, because it's completely irresponsible. People are going to call the police for that. I don't care if it's a stunt. I don't care what you're doing. That's not like something that you can just do.
You
Like,
really think that people in that area care that much?
Yeah, I do. If it's like a closed set and you're doing it for the movie and like it's blocked off, it's something that's like blocked off and you're shooting a scene for the movie or you're shooting a commercial, that's one thing. But this is a guy that's taping himself to a billboard where there's active traffic. People are stopping their day to call 911 to help him.
So here,
look, it's Steve. I don't think a lot of people care.
Yeah. So one person called 911, right? Or do they have a higher number? How many people have actually tried calling the authorities?
I don't know yet. They haven't officially released the number yet, but they said it was only like 2 or 3 people.
Pull up the picture again, like the wide shot. Pull up the wide shot for me.
The wide shot. Okay.
If you were like at a distance looking at that while driving, like quickly looking, I don't think most people would realize that's an actual human. It looks like a dummy from a distance.
No, but
like,
they would double take. They would double take, and that could be the difference between crashing into a guy and not. It's reckless.
Now, okay, I'm going to pull up the other picture. Nikki, if you look closely, he's at a stoplight. If you look at the ground down at the bottom of the picture, just above the car, he's at a stoplight. And this is downtown LA. I can tell you for a matter of fact that if you look up to the top of the picture, that is Capitol Records, which means he is a block west of the Staples Center. How do I know? Because I had the Airbnb that we had when we were in LA for Spectacular
for you
is actually right behind this billboard, because I know this building. So I know where he's at. If you go down a little further, there's like a fucking there's like a weed shop and shit. This is in downtown LA, across from the Staples Center. Like I could look at our apartment window, our Airbnb window, and be looking at the LA Convention Center.
Irrelevant.
So he is downtown. So people, I'm sure, well aware of what's going on. Plus, it was on the news. It was on the news that he was up there.
That must make it good and true.
I mean, the old people that don't follow him on social media or just don't have social media in general are going to watch the news. And then the people that don't watch the news have social media.
I mean, this is the first I've seen of it. It looks reckless to me.
You also don't live in LA. That's the thing. It's probably being reported more in LA than it is. Yeah.
It's probably reported more in LA. But I don't watch the news here. Like if something was reported around here, I wouldn't know about it. Like I'm very careful where I get my information. So this is where I'm getting my Steve-O news and all Los Angeles news is from you guys.
Listen,
and
last time someone had Steve-O news, Jackass was still on the air. So
I've never been a Jackass fan either, though. But it's just.
And see, I'm the dumbass that I love that. I think that those are funny as hell because
what was the one with the shit in the toilet? Right, there was one with like shit in a porta potty or something they did.
Oh, that was one of the first ones. It was in the first movie, I think. He walked into a hardware store. Somebody walked into a hardware store dressed as an old man and took a shit in a display toilet.
I think that Obi-Wan Kenobi said it best.
So uncivilized.
And that's why
if
people
I was
watch.
working at that store
Oh, yeah.
and I happen to just look over and see somebody taking a shit in a display, I'm turning my badge in and walking out right then and there. I'm like, no, I'm not going to deal with this.
Oh, okay, I found it. I looked it up. Okay, so I was right. I remember this. No, it was in the third one. It was they put Steve-O in a porta potty filled with shit and like launched him in the air.
Bungee cables?
Yes.
Yeah.
Slingshot him?
Didn't you?
No.
Your dad?
No.
You just saw it yourself.
I found this shit.
Oh, God.
Literally shit.
I know. Like, this was not allowed in my household growing up.
Well, there's a movie out that kind of, explains how these guys got their start. It's on Netflix. It's called Adventure Park. I think you guys really need to take a look at the movie. It's actually, this place was a real place. Like, people died doing this shit. Like, it was like a theme park for adrenaline junkies.
Isn't that what his Knoxville made a movie, right? Action Point. Isn't that what that's based on?
Yes.
Okay.
And Video Dream
had a few good
on a documentary about it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Dukes of Hazzard or The Rundown. I really like The Rundown.
What does The Rundown have to do with Jackass?
Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, is he in that?
Yes.
Who the fuck was he in that?
In The Rundown, he's the supporting role. He's the guy that he's running down. Rosario Dawson's in it.
No, that's John William Scott. That's not Johnny
John William Scott?
Yeah.
Good God.
The other guy from
Sean William
guy
Scott,
from Dukes of
Johnny
Hazzard.
Knoxville. It's the other Dukes.
Johnny
okay,
Knoxville was the
Which one's Johnny
one.
Knoxville then?
Bro, don't disrespect Stifler.
How dare me? I'm sorry. That's very disrespectful. Johnny Knoxville, Men in Black 2. Oh yeah, he's the asshole in Men in Black 2, right?
He is in that, yes.
All right. Well,
You also wrote the best thing about The Last Stand.
I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I don't like Jackass.
Okay.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Was it really John William Scott? Because now, like that's embarrassing.
Now, Aaron, do you have anything else?
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you guys want to keep hearing random news stories, I had some more pulled up we could discuss. If you want to go back to some of those.
Yeah, go ahead. Just a couple more, and then we'll figure something out.
Sure. Okay. So this was interesting, I thought. Or was it today? It was 2 days ago. Okay, so 2 days ago, they released from Disney, Mulan released a video, a music video for a song called "Loyal, Brave, and True" by Christina Aguilera, which the director said was essentially the quote-unquote Bond song for this film. And if you watch the movie, the music video is actually very inspired by the idea of like a James Bond song.
Yeah,
Now,
Christina Aguilera, who did Reflections for the original Disney movie.
Yes, Christina Aguilera was the singer who did the pop version of Reflections for the original film. With the releasement of this video, I believe the director Nikki Caro also confirmed that while there will not be music in the movie, there will be this song which will probably play during the credits of the film, and there also will be for their score soundtrack, they will record a new version of Reflections with lyrics. There will be a version of it recorded for this film, but they haven't said who will be singing it, whether it will be Aguilera again doing just an updated version. Or...
It's me, guys. It's just me.
Oh God,
Jar Jar, please do me a Jar Jar. Did you do it? As
no, we can do that. We'll do that like the day Mulan comes out. I can sing Reflections for everyone.
I'm gonna have to when I got my new bank card, like I lost most of my streaming, so I have to reload everything again.
But what
you
I would
don't
say
have
is,
to watch the movie. You can just watch me sing, and we can put trailer footage behind it.
What I would say for this new song is, I actually did listen to it when I found the article because I was curious. It's not bad. It really does sound kind of like one of those Bond songs. Like she wasn't kidding. It sounds like a Bond theme for Mulan. It's got that slower kind of like writing on the wall, Skyfall kind of sound to it. It does sound reminiscent of those songs. It's
Imagine
under 3
Bond
minutes.
opening for Mulan, like just like all the Mulan, just like a bow and a kaleidoscope. That'd be awesome.
That's what the video is. So the video is a mix of shots of Christina Aguilera and then a shadow version of Mulan, like swinging a sword or doing something actiony, and it's like this Bond mix. So I would say check it out. It's definitely interesting. It's under 3 minutes, so it's not a long song either. But it's just a cool little weird thing that I found.
You know which movie had the best Bond opening? Deadpool 2.
Okay.
Deadpool 2 is the best Bond.
With the Celine Dion song. Yeah. I thought that was good
that's
too.
the best Bond opening. That's perfect.
Okay.
The shot where like he does the stripper thing with the bullets coming down, like opening night in the theater, that really just made me go crazy because that was like the first time they released.
More funny infinite.
Yes.
I thought that was great. I think the one from the first one is slightly better though. Isn't it like Angel in the Morning with the credits?
That one was
better.
more just an opening credits, like kind of like a Marvel MCU style. The second one, like that's a Bond opening. That could have been in a Bond movie. They've done the same, like Daniel Craig with the Skyfall, like with all him pointing the gun. Like,
can I say something controversial?
No.
I don't like Deadpool 2.
Okay.
Which cut of it? Which cut of it?
All of it. I don't like Deadpool.
All of them.
2.
Okay.
All of them.
Because I understand. I don't like the super duper cut.
Yeah, I don't like it. It feels it's pretty much the exact same movie as the first one, but change the characters in a way.
I could see where people would have
pretty much the same movie, but
isn't that what sequels are like? It's a classic sequel in that sense.
It's kind of like for me, kind of like Hangover 2, where it's pretty much the exact same movie, but tweak a couple things. That's what Deadpool 2 was. It's the exact same movie, but
time travel. Major character death at the beginning of the movie.
They almost kill Hitler.
Hitler.
Girlfriend dying in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't see what they mean now. It's the same thing. The Juggernaut. It's really different.
But
the whole point of the movie was he's going after this kid. He's going to rescue this kid or whatever before the kid gets killed, because that's what Cable's whole goal was. Because kid grows up to kill Cable's. And then you have the first Deadpool where he has to go save. Is it Veronica?
Yeah, that's like saying Vanessa. It's like saying every single Superman movie is the same. He has to save Lois Lane in all of them.
That doesn't happen till like the last.
But the saving Lois is not a plot of the movie. That's like something that happens during the plot.
But his girlfriend does not get kidnapped until like the last 20 minutes in the movie.
In the beginning, and he has to go save her.
Like, I just don't get that at all. It's so different to me.
I don't.
Okay, the first movie was more about revenge. than about saving his girlfriend.
Yeah.
About revenge. And
Yeah, that
his
I don't
girlfriend
get
doesn't
that.
even come into the saving the
Yeah.
picture till the last 20 minutes of Deadpool.
I don't care. Let's.
I don't care either. I love it.
Okay, so Chris mentioned it in the private chat, so I can bring it up. It wasn't in my original thing, but I can talk about it just because I don't know how many of you have an opinion on this. But earlier this week, it was announced that the original creators behind Avatar: The Last Airbender, Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko, I hope I pronounced that correctly, who were supposed to serve as the executive producers and showrunners on the new live-action Netflix show, have left that show. They have cited creative differences as the reason. The direct quote from what is his name? DiMartino was, I realized I couldn't control the creative direction of the series, but I could control how I responded, so I chose to leave the project. It's the hardest professional decision I've ever had to make, and certainly not one that I took lightly, but it was necessary for my happiness and creative integrity. It might turn out to be a show that many of you end up enjoying, but what I can be certain about is whatever version ends up on screen will not be what Brian and I had envisioned or intended to make the series.
Yeah.
Now, the series is still moving forward. The current executive producer and possible showrunner is Dan Lin, who is a film producer behind a lot of different films, including the Sherlock Holmes films, the Lego Movie films, the 2 It films, Disney's Aladdin, and the upcoming Lilo and Stitch remake. So he's got a wide array of films. He will be working on the show, at least in an executive producer role, and they'll probably try and find another active showrunner. I have two ways of looking at this, and anyone else who has seen Avatar can comment on it afterwards. So I think this is a situation of, I think one of these two parties wanted to make the show exactly like they made it in the animated show, and I think one of these two parties wanted to go in a slightly different direction. I just don't know which. I just don't know which is which. And if I'm being totally
wanted to go in a new direction,
and if I'm being totally honest, I would agree with Netflix then. I don't want to see an exact replica of the animated show in live action, because for me, shot for shot doesn't work. Like, if these guys came in with a different direction and Netflix is saying no, it has to be the same, then I get it. But if these guys just wanted to do the same thing in live action and Netflix is the one saying no, we got to go somewhere different with this, then I'm absolutely okay with them leaving. I don't think it's one-sided. I just don't know whose side is right yet.
And look at the show Netflix has produced and made.
Just the cartoon. I think this is a great move because it means I may actually like this.
There's some things in animation that just don't work in space.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yeah.
Guys, the last time that... What's I?
Go ahead, Chris. I was going to say, I'll let you get in because you were the one who asked about it. Go ahead.
The last time that a director took his own creative difference and tried to be like a TV show, we got the Last Airbender movie.
But they were involved in the Last Airbender.
They were involved in it, though.
I'm scared that you don't have the original creator, then you don't get somebody who understands the show.
But I still like that better than the cartoon.
Yeah.
With a series
and the character, and they don't cast it right, and I think they should have stayed as the executive producer so they could get the casting right.
The showrunners of the original show were executive producers on the movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they say they didn't have much involvement.
Yeah,
and Night says they had a lot of involvement. So
so they learned from their mistakes. They weren't going to be involved in the same thing.
I agree. They would have said, "I'm out. Take my name off the project," and that would have been
I am scared because of creative differences, and also I love Netflix to death sometimes, but they don't always do show stuff based on stuff. Death Note being a prime example. Netflix.
To me, it's not Netflix. It's more about the filmmakers you hire.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Netflix has its writer's room that's impending on shows. Like, that was Netflix hired Adam Wingard, and that was the direction that Adam Wingard chose to take the movie. Now, as someone who has seen Death Note, the movie, but knows nothing about the anime or the manga or anything else in relation to Death Note, I have literally only seen the Adam Wingard movie. I think on a production level, that film has a lot of issues, but as a movie in and of itself, I didn't think it was all that terrible.
Right. And okay, so for those who don't have much
That's right.
faith in Netflix doing the show, here's a few shows that Netflix has that they made. They're Netflix original shows. Narcos, BoJack Horseman, Ozark, Stranger Things, Daredevil, The Crown, House of Cards. I mean, I mean, you could argue right now that Netflix does original shows better than anybody else.
Okay, I'm going to jump in here on this
I
one.
have faith in them.
Talking about their original shows, something about me that you guys don't know is for about 5 or 6 years, we lived in the ghetto. Like growing up, we lived in the hardcore ghetto. Kind of the point you don't go out after dark, you don't sit under windows at night, sort of thing. They have a show out there that's called On My Block. It is about a bunch of Hispanic kids in Chris, you can give thumbs up, but if you've never lived there, you don't have a fucking clue. The representation of what it's like to be in a gang environment is really true. And then just like Matt, everything Matt said is true. Now, Death Note, I know the manga inside and out. The anime is my favorite anime of all time, second of all time, behind Princess Mononoke, but that's two different things.
Right.
3, I actually don't mind the movie. As somebody who is a fan of all of them, I don't mind the movie. It is an original concept. It may not have hit as well as it did, but I like the way that they took the idea behind it and manipulated it for American audiences.
Adaptation.
Adaptation is a great word.
Yeah.
Originally, that movie was slated to go into theaters.
Yeah.
So it went to Netflix as a backup. This was a studio-produced movie that actually was supposed to.
You're right.
Yeah.
It was
Which
supposed
studio? Was it Paramount?
Paramount or Universal? I don't remember.
Universal? Yeah.
But it was supposed to hit theaters, which if you know anything about Netflix original movies, most of the time, like The Irishman was supposed to hit theaters.
Yeah.
It was made for theaters, but nobody would put a 3.5, 4 hour movie in theaters anymore because of how drawn out it is. They couldn't get enough showing.
It was like $200 million to make.
It cost a lot of fucking money to make.
Actually, I would actually say I'm just doing this through researching. Ironically, because I named a lot of franchises that the show's executive producer Dan Lin was involved in, like a lot of franchises. Funny enough, one of the solo movies that Dan Lin was a head producer on, Death Note.
I think the further away from the cartoon it gets, the better, because for somebody like me, I was in the prime age demographic when that show was airing new episodes, and I would always watch Nickelodeon, and then that show would come on and I just wouldn't care. But I don't know what it was. I just never, every time I watched that show, I just didn't care. Devin had something interesting to say about how the series would be different than not the Scorsese movie, the Shyamalan movie. You said in a series.
So I was saying that the movie was trying to cram a lot of stuff in, and they revealed that. So the show held off how the Fire King. It's been a while.
You're talking about Dual Sisters
for a while, but the movie just went and showed him immediately.
Fire Lord, that's what you're talking about.
Fire Lord, yeah.
Voiced by Mark Hamill.
They pull an Aragon thing when they show the villain too early. Right.
With the series, they have the time to space things out a hell of a lot better. And they probably won't do the thing where they have a whole group of people to move one little rock.
Oh god, that was so bad. Yeah, so here's what I will say. I think a lot of that movie, and I understand why fans of the show, diehard fans, would be worried, but I think a lot of that movie comes down to more of the fact that Shyamalan was making it more than the showrunners weren't too involved. I think that's they were there, but it was mostly whatever Shyamalan wanted, Shyamalan got. And I think it's more to do. It's more to do with the fact that Shyamalan himself didn't really understand more than the showrunners not being there. Like when I look overall at that, at Dan Lynn's thing, if he is now the head executive producer of this, I think he's got overall a good enough repertoire, especially when you talk about adapting things. He worked on Sherlock Holmes. He's worked on the Lego movies, which included a Lego Batman. He's worked on the It books, so he was involved with those. I think he's done a lot, and obviously Death Note wasn't a hit for hit, but you know, everyone's got a miss every once in a while.
Aladdin
was a remake.
I like Aladdin.
I like Aladdin. I don't love it.
I think Aladdin's the best balance between making a remake and adding your own flavor to it. I think more of the Disney remakes need to be like Aladdin because they
I've argued Jungle Book and Cinderella did it better.
So I was gonna say
the Speechless Psalm is terrible. Let's leave that out of it and just take it without that.
I was gonna say. So the point of where I was trying to get is, the one thing from the moment this show was announced 2 years ago, and I'm actually rewatching the show right now because it was put on Netflix recently. The one thing that I don't want, is for this to be like an attempted shot-for-shot, extremely close remake. Because the fact is, the original show was an animated show that did about 20 episodes per season, and this is going to be a live-action show that's probably going to get between 8 and 10 episodes per season. You cannot do it exactly the same.
10 episodes of a drama on Netflix is roughly the same time as 20 episodes on Nickelodeon, because those were half-hour episodes.
But I mean in terms of adaptation.
Oh no, I
think it would be incredibly lazy of them to just take the show and make it live.
I was thinking Watchmen. Like how Watchmen was a sequel to the graphic novel. Maybe this is going to be a sequel to the
cartoon. They've already said it's a remake. They've already said it's a remake.
You know what they could do?
Guys, calm down. I don't care about cartoons. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Okay, I was going to point out another franchise on Netflix that kind of took liberty with its source material, but it is a pretty good The Witcher with Henry Cavill.
Mm-hmm. I still haven't seen Witcher yet. I didn't get up.
Well, the benefit to The Witcher is it's not based off the games; it's based off the book.
But I think it's liberty with the book a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, okay, time out. I have a couple of questions. One, Nikki, did you like anime growing up? Yes or no?
No. Well, but I didn't like it, but I watched it.
Well, that could be a reason you didn't like Last Airbender, is the fact that you weren't, because it was an American. But hold on. Now, second thing that Nikki and Devin brought up that ties back to Death Note is length. The Death Note anime is 36 episodes long. It is technically it's 3 seasons. It came out as one, but you buy it in one set. It's 36 episodes. So they had the time span to build it. Now, the Death Note movie, which has the guy attached to it, goes back to the same thing that we said with Last Airbender, the movie. They tried to cram too much into it too fast. They tried to do all of this one in a 90-minute movie. It didn't work. The good thing about the cartoon is they had, just like Devin said, the time to world build.
Right.
That's where Last Airbender and Death fall on their face, is that they didn't have the time to build it. Now, if you took the anime out and just looked at Death Note as its own movie, it works, in my opinion. If you took everything you know about the original anime, manga, everything out, the movie itself, in my opinion, worked.
I didn't watch Death Note, the anime, and I watched the movie. I thought the movie was bad.
No, there you go. It can go both ways. Same with
I think with Airbender, I think what they're going to end up doing, which kind of falls into the whole, reason why the original creators left. I think they're going to take the kind of basic storylines, the main storylines that the seasons go by, like the big storylines.
Mm-hmm.
But I think where the creative differences is the things they take out from the show that they can put in, so it doesn't feel like
Creative
it's crammed.
liberties.
I think the creators wanted to do certain things, and Netflix like, no, we don't think it would work. Let's just take these things because this is what's going to matter at the end of the day with the story. That's how I think it went down. Or maybe Netflix like, you know what, screw it, completely changing everything about it. We're recasting everything. This takes place in a small city in LA.
Now, see,
it's modern day.
I hope they're not that dumb, but that would
They
be
wrote
a bad
Dragon
move.
Ball Evolution it.
As long as it's engaging and I care about the characters, like I don't care like how many creative differences there are.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna hold judgment until it comes out.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
I'll
care.
give it the 3-episode test like I do with any other like nerd series that comes out. Like after 3 episodes, if I hate it, I probably won't finish it.
Will you do
As
that?
long
with
as
the
you don't change what I love about the character, especially with Aang, Zero, Uncle Iroh, and all of those characters have fallen in love with in the show, I'd be okay.
Yeah, but see, right there, I would say, Chris, you have to take your predisposition out of it.
you have to take it out.
I
and
don't
look
care
at it as
about the
something
characters
new.
on the cartoon. Like,
You're gonna have to take your predisposition out of it, just like when Watchmen first came out, or V for Vendetta, or Sin City is another one, where these are quote unquote beloved characters, and they're changed differently, and people.
Here's what I'll say about the cartoon is why I don't like it is that I think that this might be one of the creative differences that Netflix is trying to do. I felt like that cartoon, even when like I see footage of it today, is that feels like it's made for kids. I don't think this is a show that they are making for kids. They're making it for people that were kids. when the
I strongly
I would agree
so-
with
so-
the
so-
first season, but as the show goes on, it gets more kind of like
talking
Harry
more of, like,
Potter.
dialogue.
Uncle Iroh backstory alone is dark.
I was gonna say, so I actually agree with Nikki a lot in terms of the first season. The first season is very clearly for kids, but I can actually compare it to something else. I'm going to compare it to Clone Wars because both the first season of Airbender and Clone Wars share one big relation: Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni was an executive producer and a heavy director. He directed about half.
Maybe they'll get him a show on.
He directed about half of that first season for Airbender, like the show. And that season is very kid-friendly. It's only after that first season when he left that they started to step it up and get more adult. And Clone Wars had to do the same thing. It started very kid-friendly. It's just he was there to learn and grow and get darker.
Themes, though. I mean more with dialogue. With the way that the characters...
Uncle
Iroh and what happened to his son? Like,
No, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think this will.
I think of Avatar. I think of Airbender like the Harry Potter movies, because like in the same thing, Clone Wars. Because as each movie came out for Harry Potter, it got more mature, darker, more lean more towards the older teens.
So I actually do get. I get what Nikki's saying, and I actually think that will be one of the things that will change. Is even as the show's themes got darker, there was still a lot of kids stuff there. Like the penultimate, second to last episode is an episode where the characters are watching a parody play about themselves. I think shit like that's gonna get cut. Like I don't think they're gonna bring that back because that's so Nickelodeon that I think they're gonna want to leave that behind.
It's kind of like Rebels.
Yes,
where Rebels was kid-like in the first season, but it got more adult, but still had
it's like still adult-like in the first season.
Some, but there was still a lot of stuff for kids too. Because
I hope it's not like Voltron is like the only real like animated series recently that I've watched all the way through, and I think that like is a good example of what I'm talking about, where that show felt like it was made for kids.
Okay. I would say a show that I actually think would be a good, and obviously it's an animated show and this is going to be live action, but a show that I actually think on Netflix would be a good model is Troll Hunters. And it's like successive series that have followed that same story, because Troll Hunters is a show that is very clearly made so that a younger audience can watch it and enjoy it, but there's a lot more of a grown-up adult fantasy theme happening with it that I think can also make it enjoyable for older audiences. That show had
Oh, sorry. The best cartoons, like Batman the Animated Series, I always go back to that because at the end of the day, that show, it's just good Batman. It's not treating the audience like children. It's treating the audience like fans of Batman. Star Trek, the animated series, the original animated series, those are just animated episodes of Star Trek. It didn't treat the audience like children. It treated the audience like the audience of Star Trek. So as long as
Party wasn't a kid's film, it was definitely meant for adults.
Yeah. That's different. But when it's made for everyone, like when it's made to be consumable for kids but made for adults, that's when you have the best balance.
I think like
it's kind of like
even like sorry, Matt, you go first.
It's like they say with Doctor Who. It is a kids show made for adults and an adult show made for kids. It can be both. If it can straddle that line of serious.
Hello, Doctor Who's straddling? Who's he straddling?
Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 is a good example. Toy Story 3 is a great example.
Yes.
That movie is dark as fuck. Like when I first saw it,
I watched it last night actually, and you were absolutely right.
I watched it with my kids. Like
how is that movie?
I mean, toys are looking at their death in the movie.
Bro, the toys.
They're literally accepting death. It's like, okay, we're dead. We're dying.
Everybody's about to die at some point in their life.
I mean even
they're selling off toys.
Okay.
They're toys. They're gonna melt. It's not dark.
Nikki, it's about the fact that they're physically toys, is that the toys are meant to represent like people. It's the themes behind the movie. It's the idea of growing up, moving on, people leaving you behind, having to find your place after the person that you were there for is gone. It's an adult themed film that just has a very kid friendly plastic cover around it.
I think Toy Story 4 does it better.
Ooh,
Okay,
I love both, but no.
Yeah.
Whatever. So take anything from the Toy Story world, and where it's packaged for kids, but the adults get the deep sense to it. You know, it'd be interesting if they ran it kind of like they did, not exactly, obviously, but the way they did Stranger Things.
Well, I was going to say, since we're talking about Pixar, I was actually having this exact discussion with friends yesterday while we were watching the Toy Story films. To me, I think the movie that does it best for Pixar, and it's one of the reasons it's my favorite Pixar film, is Inside Out. Like when you watch Inside Out on the surface, Inside Out is a kid's film. It is very kid friendly. It's a kid's film. But you also watch, like, if you're a kid, then you watch Bing Bong Die. If you're an adult, then you are watching what is meant to be the literal living personification of your childhood imagination dying and being left behind as your emotions have to continue and grow and you have to deal with more adult issues and situations. It's fucking heavy when you think about it. But it's presented in this package where it's a little toy elephant, send her to the moon for me. It's this real emotional kid-friendly thing, but it's fucking heavy when you think about it.
Like there's another movie that came out like that called Wonder Park. The movie itself is absolutely a dumpster fire.
The movie's ass, but I know what you're going with this. Yes.
The whole act of the movie, the whole main point of the movie is this little girl's mom is taken away to go to the hospital. At the beginning of the movie, she builds like these amusement parks out of like shit, and the kids come over and they look at it. She builds like models, for lack of better terms, of amusement parks. Her mom gets sick with something and goes to the hospital. Like half the movie, I thought her mom died. Like I straight up thought her mom was dead. And she has to go to camp. She gets depressed and she goes to camp. Well, instead of going to camp, she runs away. And while she's running through the woods, she trips and literally knocks herself the fuck out. And she goes to this wonderful
well, and then the bats raise her up into the sky, and she becomes back.
So what I'm saying is this movie is about.
We made a better movie.
Like that movie is about grief and coming to the grips of not being able to deal with it, but it's wrapped in a kid's package. So if they can do something like that and then expand on it, I think Airbender could be really good.
They do it like
Stargirl. Stargirl's a perfect.
Yeah. Sorry. If they could do it like Lakara, like they make the movie like Paranorman and Kubo, like had deep, heavy stuff in them, like kid-friendly stuff. Paranorman, I think the whole twist when they reveal who the witch actually is a little bit heavy when you realize the implication. Yeah.
God, I haven't seen Paranorman.
I wonder if they're actually going to cast kids in Last Airbender, or if they're gonna go more teen, young adult.
We're gonna go
Honestly-
Tom Holland route, like Tom Holland adult that looks young.
I was gonna say honestly,
Tom Holland is the Last Airbender.
I think I actually hope they go a little older than the show because I think it's really hard to find a consistent group of kids that can carry a show like that. Like
It'll be 21-year-olds playing 15-year-olds. That's exactly what Stargirl is.
These movies aren't very good. Like these movies aren't good. But I actually think one of the better changes that the Percy Jackson movies made was to age them up from 12 to like 15 or 16 because it's really hard to like Harry Potter. If you go back and watch those earlier films, they're still good films, but those kids aren't great actors. Like you can see there's the makings of getting better, but they're not actually great.
There's like a charm to those early movies.
But that's more on the writing and the directing and the other actors around them elevating it. You have literally all of Britain's class actors in that film.
If you're going to go more...
Those early movies make me smile. Like they make
you want to go with like
like good movies.
If they're going to go authentic, though, that you might have to go a little older. Because if you're going to get a kid who, let's say, from Asia or whatever, to play Aang or whatnot, and let's say the kid's 12, you might have more success getting somebody who's from Asia that's like 18, 19 years old, maybe playing like a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, and they would probably pull it off better.
Because they can they can pay them less. And like they don't have to have all the logistics of having a kid on set. Stargirl, like they're in high school, they're supposed to be playing 15-year-olds. We looked up at the cast. Every single one of the Justice Society, like their high school group, is at least 21. Like the actors are all at least 20.
And see, the good thing about going a little older too is the fact that with kids, if they're under a certain age, they can't be on set after dark. Like at once it's like 5 or 6 in the evening, they're done. So
and they won't age out of the role if they're older and they just look young. Because they're just that way they'll just look like they're aging with the character instead of like
It Chapter 2 problem.
It Chapter 2 problem, Shazam problem. I don't think Shazam 2 is ever happening, guys.
It's happening, but
it's happening. The first movie was successful enough.
It's not gonna.
Nikki, Jesus, stop being pessimistic. Like,
I don't think it's happening. Shazam 1, it was like a $90 million profit. I don't really view that as a success in
Nikki,
comic
there's
book.
a sequel in development.
In development, yeah, but look at Black Adam. Black Adam's been in development for 7 years. I have my opinions. You're not going to change them.
$266 million more than what they put into it.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. That's more than a lot of movies that get sequels that are big budgets.
I just don't think
Power Rangers could get a sequel, like the original Power Rangers movie that came out in the 90s or whatever. And if Mortal Kombat can get a sequel, and those really didn't make like a ton of money, even though Mortal Kombat was more like of a cultural phenomenon because of the song, and that was it.
It was a different time.
Edge of Tomorrow should get a sequel.
Edge of Tomorrow should get a sequel. Yes.
The majority of fans that saw the movie, even though it didn't make as much as, like let's say in Avengers or even Man of Steel, they liked it a lot. It was enjoyed by a lot of the public.
Logistically, especially with the coronavirus delay, I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't see them ever make. We'll get a different Shazam movie, like they'll make another Shazam movie, but I just don't think it'll be a sequel to what we got. Like,
I think it will.
Just in terms of the universe,
and people are discovering it after theaters and are, enjoying it very much. I think we'll get one.
Find out about Shazam 2 next week at DC Fandom.
Right?
But
we get Bill and Ted fucking 3, okay? We get a fucking Bill and Ted 3. I'm pretty sure we can get a Shazam 2.
Nikki, at the end of the day, how the kids look won't matter. Matty, go ahead.
It's not even that. I don't think it's going to happen.
Shazam cost $100 million to make. Plus, you got to double it for everything. You got to double it for production.
So it was probably 150 after marketing. It was probably 150 after marketing.
Yeah, we'll say 150. We'll even go to 200. Let's call it 200 marketing and the box office. It made $360 million worldwide. So that made at least about 150 million, which we didn't expect Shazam but to be a slam dunk. It wasn't. It is a family movie. Let's be real. It is a family movie at the heart of it.
It was a Christmas movie that came out in April.
See, Caleb and I went and saw Shazam in theaters. Like, I have a special place for that movie because of what I felt watching it with my son. I've watched it as an adult, and I watched it through his eyes. In his eyes, the movie's golden because of the whole aspect of like Big was when it came out. So I absolutely think we will see a Shazam 2. Maybe there's a time gap. Maybe there's a gap between Shazam 1 and Shazam 2.
Right. And if they release this thing like November, December, let's say it comes out in 2 years. If it comes out Christmas time, it's going to make a lot of money because movies that come out around Christmas time make more than what they would any other time of the year.
Just so we can officially end this conversation, I actually looked up the facts. The movie is dated for November 4th, 2022, and is starting production in spring of 2021. A sequel is happening. Boom.
November.
I still don't think it'll
Thanksgiving. That means it's going to hit Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Like, I'm allowed to have my opinions.
No, you're not. Damn it!
I really am. Like, it's a lot of movies like that go into production hell. Like it's what I said about Black Adam. They announced that movie 7 years ago. Like I said, a lot of things are going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah,
but
the
when does
difference
Black
is
Adam come out?
2021 or 2022 as well.
And I think it'll be most likely. What I think will happen is it's a Suicide Squad situation. Where you're getting a movie that's not necessarily a sequel to the movie that they made, but is still a movie that has Zach Levi as Shazam. I just don't think it'll be a proper sequel because I think the next thing they make with Shazam will probably be something with Shazam fighting Black Adam and won't have as much of the same story as far as the Shazam kids go.
But here's the difference, right, between Suicide Squad and Shazam. The Suicide Squad is a movie with a different director, a different writer, and a totally different cast. This is a movie in which it's the same director,
Davis,
it's the same writer,
Margot Robbie,
a couple of characters out of a whole ensemble. They couldn't get Will Smith to come back.
Tell you we're doing Aladdin.
Jeez, okay. This could go all day. Do we want?
I know. We're not going to change each other's minds on it. It's like I
don't need to have my mind changed. I
don't need to have my mind changed either. So let's move on.
And on that note, guys, I don't really have anything else.
I was going to say, we can end it here if you want, or I had one more quick short story if you want me to toss it out there, because I found this one super interesting. Okay, so this can be real quick. I don't think there's much discussion about this. I just find this interesting. So Zack Snyder's upcoming film, Army of the Dead, which is a Netflix standalone sequel to his original film, Dawn of the Dead, has announced that they, despite the fact that the film has already completed production, they will be replacing cast member Chris D'Elia, who has come under accusations in the last month of possible sexual harassment. The way that they will be doing it is they have cast actress and comedian Tig Notaro to take over his comedic relief role, and what they will be doing is they will be filming with her and a minimal crew on a green screen set with just stand-in actors, and she will film all of his scenes again, and then they will edit her in his place during editing.
So Christopher Plummer situation.
Yeah,
it'll be just like Christopher Plummer in The World Was Not Enough or whatever it was called.
All the money in the world.
Not enough, James Bond.
All the money in the world.
All the money in the world.
So this one to me seems pretty cutthroat and dry. There hasn't been a lot of like 100% official confirmation as to what Chris D'Elia did. We just know there's a lot of accusations, but this is very similar to what has happened to a lot of other actors when there are accusations out there. To me personally, I don't think it makes much of a difference. I honestly don't find Chris D'Elia that funny to begin with, so switching him out for another comedian I don't really watch or like doesn't make a difference to me. The movie will probably be entertaining because I think Dawn of the Dead was a good movie, but we'll see what happens, you know. But I just think this is an interesting story and the way they're handling it because of COVID now, because they can't do full reshoots.
Right. Dawn of the Dead. That is the Ving Rhames one, right? Where they're in
James Gunn. The James Gunn script.
Okay, I love the one.
It's the sequel, right? You said.
Is it a direct sequel or like a
I
parallel?
think it's its own thing.
No, so they have confirmed that Army of the Dead is a standalone sequel. So it is a sequel in the same universe as Dawn of the Dead, but it is a totally different cast.
Okay.
Okay. So like the Nightmare on Elm Street ones.
Well, I'm down for that because, like,
me
in
too.
my opinion,
I like that movie.
Yeah, I like
James
that.
Gunn wrote Dawn of the Dead, and he's obviously not involved with this. So I'm kind of curious how different this is going to feel. Yeah, James Gunn wrote Dawn of the Dead.
He did, yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to give you an idea, the three writers on this film are Zack Snyder. Let me see what this guy's wrote. A writer named Joby Harold, whose biggest script was King Arthur: Legend of the Sword.
Ooh.
And the third writer is Shay Haddon, who was one of the writers on John Wick 3.
Okay,
So
that better.
it's an interesting collection because
so
we know
to
Zack
give you-
Snyder can write. We know that. It's pretty, he wrote 300. 300 it's a beautiful script in my opinion. Him and David O. Russell wrote that.
David O. Russell wrote 300?
No, not David O. Russell. Oh, fuck. What is it? No, not David O. Russell. Did the original, wrote Man of Steel.
Oh,
David S. Goyer. David Goyer.
Yeah, he wrote the Vader Immortal too.
Yeah. So David S. Goyer wrote that. They wrote, they wrote
He has
that.
hits and misses.
Yeah, they've all had hits and misses.
Okay, so to give you a bit more, so Joby Harold has also worked as a kind of maybe like a on-set kind of update writer / executive producer. Other films he was attached to. He was a part of John Wick Chapter 3. He was also a part of Edge of Tomorrow. He's also one of the lead writers on the upcoming Obi-Wan series. So he does have some credibility to him. It's just his biggest solo script was The Legend of the Sword.
And that was not a good script at all.
Actually, see, in my opinion, the script itself was fine. It was an okay movie. It wasn't great. It's not the script that was bad with it. It was just the execution, in my opinion. To each his own.
Different opinion.
And we'll have to wait and see when the movie comes out because this could be more Zack Snyder than the other two.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious now.
I will say though, just to give Snyder some credit, I don't think all of it was James Gunn, because if you look at a lot of James Gunn's earlier films, I don't think he was the most refined writer yet. Around that same time, he was also writing the Scooby-Doo films, which weren't very good. So, he was hit or miss earlier in his career. He's definitely found more consistency the further he's gone on and the more directing control he's had. So a lot of that could have been Zach as well. It definitely was a mix.
All right, guys. We are going on 2.5 hours. Let's do this, guys. Please hit that thumbs up. Give us a comment. Subscribe if you'd like to find out more. If you're over on Twitch, definitely follow us. Mr. Beer, where can people find you?
You can find me on here.
Alrighty.
On this channel.
Mr. Chris?
Just find me on Facebook. You can find me everywhere. They'll be doing a bunch of matches coming up pretty soon. So stay tuned.
Hey, Rod.
On Instagram at Aaron T. Canole and here pretty much every week.
Yes, sir. Nikki and Devin.
This is the way.
I'm running out of places.
Devin's running out of places. I'm running out of time.
All right.
Hi, guys.
And I'm Matty G. We will be back tomorrow night for Movie Mania. That is our movie game show. I absolutely have to write. Basically, everybody gets 3 or 4 different challenges. You earn points as you go up. I do have a new game in mind for tomorrow, so absolutely check that out. Thursday nights, we'll be back for Suplex City Chats. Again, ladies and gentlemen, like, comment, subscribe. Also, go over to TMG Trivia, see what we're doing over there. If you'd like to reach out to those of us in charge to get a match, definitely do that. And on that note, guys, this was After Dark, and it was a gas.